Last time, on Asmiliath adventures, the recently renamed party, the Golden Hearts, find themselves finally in reach of the city they've been traveling towards, Kralin. Upon making their way into the town, they pass by the wreckage and destruction that had been caused by the recent siege. Buildings collapsed, small memorials put up for the fallen, and an overall dreary air over the city. Making their way to their familiar tavern, the Sliver of the Moon, they recover from their travels and discuss the impending meeting with the Duke. After preparing, the party set off towards the castle, noticing along the way that security at all points throughout the city had been increased. Finally making their way, they are greeted by Clifford, the head servant of the Grator family, and he informs the party of Lord Jarrell's kidnapping. After this, they are led to a meeting with the Duke, where the party's two newest members are introduced and properly integrated into the Golden Hearts, with the new goal of rescuing and retrieving the young lord. During this conversation, the party learned that the yellow-eyed man has apparently formed some sort of pact, or bond, with an ancient evil called Tortle, which had been defeated by a grouping of gods some time ago. It is also explained that the monastery the party had previously visited in the mountains above Corel had housed a cult that guarded Tortle's dismembered body part. Calling themselves the Hollow Keepers, it is believed by the Duke that they foresaw the return of Tortle and had built up their group to prevent the potential doomsday for as long as possible. With each of the party members promised certain rewards upon the death or capture of the yellow-eyed man, the Golden Hearts again find themselves on a task for the Duke, preparing to set off up north to a city named Karun Vale. After some quick preparations and acquiring a gnome driver named Adam, the party sets off from Kralin at an aggressive pace. We pick up a few days later as the party finds themselves setting in for a night off the road, setting up camp, and discussing the adventure ahead. So now, Golden Hearts, you are, after a weary's day of travel, moving off the road a fair bit to set up camp, rest a little bit. You have been moving at a pretty aggressive pace since Kralin, making very good time, as Adam likes to comment on consistently, making sure you are aware of his excellent traveling speed. But you now find yourself kind of chilling out for the evening, preparing for yet another day of aggressive travel ahead of you.
Well, guys, I think we need to talk about what we should expect whenever we finally meet up with Novin. I don't know how we're going to rescue Jarrell, but I think that should be, primary focus, of course. Well, Valerian, how good is your horse underground? I assume we're probably going to end up in a cave or something. Can it handle itself in tight spaces?
I should think so. I haven't had much occasion to practice with him, but he's a very good horse.
I wonder if we could, once we find him, maybe throw Jarrell on the horse and just, if you can command it to get the kid out of there, at least we'll have done that much. Marcus, Valerian, I'm not going to lie to you, the last time we met up with Novin, he was very nonchalant about us. Rolly, you remember, he kind of brushed us off. I mean, even Thor didn't seem to faze him.
He didn't seem too concerned with us. And that's troubling in and of itself.
I mean, we basically have no idea what he does or what he can do. Besides, show us people dying.
This is the name, Novin is the name of this yellow-eyed man. Is that right?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, he's got one huge freaking eye and one normal size.
Sounds like the poor man has an affliction. What do we know of the boy?
What do we know of him? Well, he's a little shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of not great, but, he's a kid, so are kids really ever great?
I was.
Yeah, but you were the kid.
As a
You weren't
kid.
the parent. So, like, do you get to judge that?
Well, no, my daughters are perfect angels. I've never had problems with them.
Our duty is to bring him back alive. We need not worry about keeping him entertained.
Actually, Marcus, I might beg to differ. I've been thinking about this over the last few miles.
Yes?
Well, I was going to talk to you first aside from the rest, but as long as we're already on the subject. When we find the boy, I would like for him to see me as a peer, to see us as people who understand him and his station after all his rough treatment. If you can all perhaps play along, Marcus, maybe you can instruct them in how to handle a troublesome child of nobility. And maybe he will share some things that the Duke has not on our way home.
I'd be more than happy to leave the young Lord Jarrell in your care.
As you ask, I can attempt to lead this horse to water.
That's all anyone can ask.
So how exactly do we play the part of... I mean, doesn't everybody just, like, cater to the young lord? Isn't that what we've been doing? Is
Well,
it something different than that?
The thing that you will have the most difficulty with, I suspect, is speaking when spoken to. Aside from that, I imagine you'll do fine. But I can tell from your reaction...
This is a valid point, but...
I can tell from your reactions that you're not looking forward to catching back up with this boy.
No, he's been a bit of trouble. However, we seem to be putting a small problem in front of a larger one. We still have yet to track him down, and once we've done that, we'll actually need to rescue him. So how we make him like us after that is a distant third problem in my estimation.
So I was given maps of the pertinent area as part of the supply for this trip. Would I have been able to pinpoint any likely candidates for cave systems or caverns that are holding him?
So the hint that you guys are going off of the note that was mentioned last session gives you a very wide area to kind of search for, because all it says is where the beginning of the Gold River flows, and that could be any of the different streams that flow into the Gold River, which is a very, very large area. But as far as kind of getting a grasp of that area and trying to seek out any sort of notable dwellings that could fit the description of where the Lord might be held, you'd say roughly there's like 20 or 30 notable underground structures in the area. So at the very least, it's a numbers game, but that's kind of the amount of different places you might have to hit.
Well, I believe we need to meet up with Porter first. He's supposed to be doing the legwork for us, I believe. Unfortunately, Porter, but yes.
Porter. I suppose we can trust him to leg it.
You know, I don't know why everybody doesn't like him. You know, he's just a guy doing his job, just like everybody else. It's not his fault that he was told not to tell us things.
I understand, Thor. I'm not used to having people trick me.
More than that, he seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah, that tells you a lot about a guy.
So as you guys have been conversing, Adam has taken the cart off of the road and is kind of taking the harnesses off the horse to set them up for grazing for the night. But once he is prepared, you see him kind of standing a fair bit away from the group, kind of waiting for you guys to finish your discussion so he doesn't overhear anything or interject. So he's kind of just silently standing, maybe about 60 or so feet away, just very patiently waiting for you guys to finish speaking.
See, I mean, look at this guy. He follows orders. He was told not to listen to us. He's not listening to us.
He's still just kind of glancing around in the dirt, kind of kicking a few loose stones, still haven't noticed that you're speaking about him yet.
In a low voice, Jarek would just kind of whisper over, he's a fucking gnome. Of course he follows orders. Fucking gnomes.
Do you have a problem with gnomes? What is everybody's problems with different races? Who has problems with races here? Rolly, it's orcs. JD, do you not like gnomes?
No, I don't like fucking. They're tiny. They just stare at you.
Okay. Is there any other races you have an issue with, or is that the only one?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of orcs so far. We haven't had a great time with them.
I mean, they live the brute life, you know? It's home to some.
Chad seems to have had a great time with your family.
Yeah, well, you can thank him for my outlook on orcs, too. Fucking Chad. Spit in the dirt.
It's pretty fair, yeah. Valerian, Marcus, do you have any races we should be aware of before, we make friends or talk to anybody?
I judge individuals only by the content of their character.
See, I like that guy. Individual. Not a whole race of people. I feel like that's really, really mean to just associate everything bad with the race.
To be fair, most orcs are murderous, bloodthirsty bastards. I do understand that half-orcs oftentimes carry the temperament of the other half that isn't orc.
Was Chad a full orc or a half orc?
Chad?
Yeah.
He's half orc.
The bottom half is orc.
Spencer is on this shit today.
Okay.
Jarek cries a little.
So at this moment, Adam kind of, glancing around, having waited for some time, kind of steps forward and says, are we setting up camp here?
I think
Is
this
it
is
a good place to camp.
Yeah.
So you guys are maybe about 20 or 30 feet off the edge of the road. There's a small-ish clearing about 20, 30 feet wide where he's pulled the cart off to. You guys obviously still have all of your own horses. It's up to you if you want to set camp here or move further or however you want to decide to do it.
Can I scout? Maybe, 500 yards or so out and around, trying to find if there is a better, more secure position?
Okay. What does secure position mean to you?
Something that maybe a little bit of a hill that's been flattened on the side, so we could camp up next to it. It's a little more hidden from sight, so if we start a fire, no one's going to be able to necessarily see us from the road.
Marcus would like to supervise his scouting.
Okay. So, Jarek, you want to investigate with advantage?
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
To do the advantage thing, you said it was shift?
Yeah,
click?
you hold shift, and it should double roll it for you. Also, for the party's information, you guys are about 2-ish days away from Karoon's Vale. around you is mostly kind of dense forest currently. There maybe are more defensible positions inside of the woods, but it would be very difficult to get the cart in there to like keep the cart with you with all the supplies. So to get a better position, you would have to leave that behind. It looks like the place that you're kind of stopped at currently has been used as kind of a rest stop camping spot before.
Well, Marcus, I don't think we can get that cart back here. I don't know, you probably have more experience camping on the road during military marches. What do you think? That'll work for us for today?
I see no reason to camp ourselves farther away from the road. We are not wanted men.
Agreed, yeah. Okay. Then yeah, I guess let's head on back and get the camp set up.
Okay. Is there anything that anyone is doing before sleep? Or taking watches, anything of that sort?
I will take at least one watch.
Okay.
I'm definitely setting up our cooking pot to get ourselves a stew going.
Okay.
And I'll probably inspect the surrounding countryside to see if there's anywhere that looks like I can set up traps like Marcus taught me.
Okay.
For the like little rabbit traps.
Gotcha.
Valerian will take the last watch.
I guess I'll take the penultimate watch.
Okay. Jarek, Rolly, are you tacking on anywhere, or are you sleeping through the night?
No, probably through the night.
Okay. Rolly?
I'll help out with the first watch with Thor.
Okay. So after Rolly goes about setting up his little traps, again trying to catch another rabbit worthy of stew, Marcus setting up the cooking pot in the camp, everyone kind of milling about, settling in for the evening. Adam, again, making himself more away from the party, camping maybe 20 or 30 feet away from anybody else, just to make sure that, again, he doesn't overhear anything that he shouldn't, apparently taking that suggestion rather seriously. But as everyone kind of settles back in and everyone settles in for their little first bit of rest, Thor and Rolly finding themselves staying up together for the first watch. The sun dips below the horizon and nighttime begins to settle in. So, I guess, Rolly, do you want to go ahead and roll perception with advantage, since I'm assuming, Thor, you want to help out Rolly? Yeah.
Alright. It's just better this way.
Well, you also don't have dark vision, so.
That's true.
That is true. Okay. So, the first watch goes by relatively uneventful. At one point, Adam lets out a very high-pitched fart, but that's about the gist of any sort of notable sounds or any sort of sights or alarm bells. So for the first, 3-4 hours of watch, you guys kind of sit there, chat amongst each other, waiting for your time to kind of tick by. But eventually it does come time for second watch, as everything seems to be relatively peaceful.
Guess we wake up Marcus now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I will instruct Carl to go poke Marcus.
Okay, so Carl still has the messaging stone embedded in his head, correct?
Yes.
Would you have wanted to use the stone in the previous few days? I know you guys are checking it sun up and sundown, but have you sent any messages back?
I would have probably just kind of done the same thing that I did the first day, where we just kind of keep him updated as to where we roughly are, so he can keep track of where our progress is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that would pretty much be it.
Okay. Yeah, so as Carl hops off your shoulder, kind of clambers down your arm, and then eventually down on the ground, kind of missing the last little bit and thwacking into the dirt, he gets himself up, waddles over, and then begins to start poking Marcus in the thigh over and over again until he arouses.
Good evening, Carl.
Carl like goes to shift his head, but isn't quite used to the weight of the stone yet, so he kind of like flings himself a little too far back, stumbles a few steps away.
I would just like sort of scoop him up by his oversized head and gently set him down near Thor.
Okay.
We didn't see anything, just so you know, Marcus, but keep an eye out. Never know what's out there.
Yes, very well.
Good night, Marcus.
As is typical, Marcus would just light his torch on the dim setting with the hood over it and smoke his pipe, although this time he is wistfully gazing north during his watch.
Okay. Quick point of order, actually. So just in case this comes up, are the magical items divvied up amongst you? Does one person hold them all in case once someone has to use it during a particular situation?
I think I had them in my pack, unless, well, that depends on if they give them back to me. But I think we still have the 3 things that are.
Yeah, so
There, yeah.
we have the stick, the ball, and something else.
The emerald.
The emerald,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
You
emerald.
also have the crown.
Right. Which I think, I don't know that I ever took that from you, but the other 3 I did because we got those identified.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the crown is attuned, right? I think that's what it had to do.
I think it requires attunement.
I mean, if you've used it, but you haven't used it yet.
That's true. I have not used it.
Okay. Well, I would imagine.
What does it do again?
It allows you to review a memory from a different perspective, kind of allowing you to move around the room and see things and reinvestigate something.
Like the cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
I would
are they
imagine-
divided or are they on one person? That's really the question. It's just, do you guys want to divvy it up or do you want it all on one person?
I guess
Say
after
divvy it up.
after I got them identified, they were kind of lame to me, so I gave them back to Jack.
Okay.
Then yeah, who wants the It extended 10 feet, as I recall.
Yeah, it's a 10-foot long pole. But it goes down to about a foot.
Yeah, Andrew. Anyone want the pole?
Man, a lot of high bidders.
I think Arola should have it, just in case he needs to shoot himself up somewhere, because he's the smallest.
Yeah, I'll take it. So when it packs up, how compact is it?
It's about a foot long when
back up
it's
as?
yeah, all the way down.
All right.
Okay. I imagine Marcus
Write
is
this
not
down
going to
so I
take
don't
any sort of
forget.
magical items.
Of these, I mean, magic has its uses when it can surpass the mundane capabilities of individuals, but these don't seem to be those kind of magic items.
What?
Okay, well then, Jarek, you have the emerald and the pocket sun.
Yeah. Pocket Sun's basketball sized.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Convenient.
I mean, I
And-
can
and-
always carry the pocket sun, because, I also don't have dark vision, so...
How bright, mechanically speaking, how bright are we
It's
looking
a
at?
60-foot bright sphere.
Okay, does it have a dim range as well?
Yeah, maybe like another 20 foot of
For a
dim, so
sun.
80 total.
Okay. Can I study it to see if it does anything else? Like just how
like.
could I use it to blind people?
How do you test that?
Stares into it.
What would I roll, like an Arcana or something?
Do an intelligence check.
It's like those old school cameras that like you would have on the bus that you wind them up and then you hit them against your hand, blind people.
And then Marcus, you want to give me a perception check for your watch as well? So, Jarek, after a lot of deliberation and staring at the sun for quite some time, you realize that if held at the right distance and used, potentially you could daze somebody with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, anyone with the emerald? Water elemental? Potential slave thing?
Well, I guess Jarek is the pack mule of magical items then.
I mean, you're also the weakest, so you need something else to throw out to, take up some damage that you would have taken.
Okay. So, Marcus, as you sit through your watch and stare longingly up northwards, you just hear, not birds chirping, but, crickets chirping and the various other small rodents that you would hear running through the woodlands at night. Again, nothing that really stands out of the ordinary for you. Just another long watch of sitting there contemplating, smoking, similar things. So, but then, yes, it's maybe a couple hours before dawn, and it is time to rouse Lord Valerian for his watch.
Just going to, you know how you can walk while putting some oomph in your footsteps to make, very clear footstep noises? I'm just going to walk like that over to Valerian, and if he doesn't wake up from that noise, just clap my gauntlets and say, "Wake up, boy!"
I'd like to think that the footsteps actually do it, especially since people are still sleeping elsewhere in the camp. But
Okay.
by now, not getting the deepest sleep of his life on the road that goes back by Lillinor. So he'll get up and just sort of mutter, right, and take up his post. I was hoping maybe Belgrease could help me on my watch.
He'll give you a +1. He's not going to give you advantage.
Aw. He's a creature too.
So yeah, go ahead and roll me perception. Astounding. Okay. Are you producing any sort of light? You're just sitting in the dark. What is your way of going about it?
I don't think so, actually. I think just sitting there listening. If there's any starlight or moonlight, I'll do the best I can, but more so just listening or watching for other lights.
Okay.
Maybe listening for the horse to snort or for its ears to move.
Mm-hmm. So, with the moonlight, it's kind of dimming due to the fact that it's almost dawn, so you're reaching that time where it's probably the worst to see anything visually. But as you're sitting there, the hour is kind of ticking by as you see the light dimming and the very, very faint light of the sun kind of growing from the horizon. You do eventually catch out of the corner of your eye down the road, the way that you guys have been traveling from. You see a distant light, maybe 200 feet, 150 feet, and it's very slowly moving its way down the road towards you.
I will gather my belongings and mount up, but I won't say anything to anybody else just yet. I'll just kind of mount up and then get to a spot where I can continue watching the light moving up the road.
Okay. So as you get on Belgrease and get a little bit more of a vantage, staring off towards the light, you see that the source is moving kind of zigzag back and forth across the road, the light being kind of cast against the trees at the edge of the road, very much in the appearance that maybe someone's looking for something or someone, kind of searching just off the road for anything, as the light continues to grow closer and closer, again, kind of scanning each edge of the road as they walk.
Has the little bit of a meta question. If I wake up someone now, I guess it doesn't really matter, but if I were to wake up someone now, are they missing their long rest? Am I interrupting their rest?
Maybe Marcus's, yeah.
Maybe Marcus's? Okay.
Everyone else should be fine.
I will walk. I'll walk around the camp to where Rolly is, and just sort of go, "Hey, you there, Rolly?"
Yes, me there.
Someone approaches on the road. I'm going to ride out and take a look. They're carrying a light. They don't seem like they're trying to be sneaky. But I'm bored.
Well, would you like some company then?
Fair enough. Mount up.
And I start to try to get onto Belgrease behind Valerian.
No, you've got one. You've got a horse there.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Sorry.
It's all right. It'll be quicker.
So yeah, I'd hop on my horse and.
Okay. So as you
Right
two
on out.
plod out of the camp and back onto the main road, you are now, the light's now close enough and you have unimpeded, visual access, that you see that it is 3 figures. Kind of humanoid, I guess, in appearance, but appearing very round and kind of large for a humanoid. They're definitely on 2 legs, kind of stepping forward. You can see that the light is coming from a lantern kind of held high, and the individual holding it appears to be what looks like a humanoid turtle. Some of you have seen this race before, but they're rather rare and definitely not native to this part of the world. But they are called Tortles. They are basically, like Bowser, a big turtle humanoid looking figure. But the one that you see in the actual lantern light, he has very dark green skin. He looks very rugged. There's armor and equipment kind of all over him. The back, like his actual shell, the back of it is covered in what looks like rough blades and weapons and sharp bits of metal and spikes that have been adorned onto the shell itself, as he's continuing to kind of plod himself back and forth across the road. But once you guys come out of your campsite and the road itself, you see the light kind of lift up enough as the turtleneck kind of cranes out of the shell a little bit and then spots you two on horseback, and there's a group of 3 begin to kind of move towards you guys, maybe about 50 or 60 feet away at this point.
That's close enough to that they can hear me if I call out, "Good morning."
You call out, and it certainly is close enough that they would hear you. You see the lantern continue to kind of sway as they very slowly make their way towards you. But as you call out, you hear a voice coming back. "Good morning."
Oh, good.
So are you going to let the Tortles approach you?
It's a free road. It's not
So
my road.
the group continue to approach, maybe until they're about 15 feet away from you, to the range where their light is kind of, showing you guys as well. But they all stop. Now you get a much more clear view of who's in front of you. There is the turtle that's holding the lantern that I mentioned earlier. Beside him is a rather also rugged-looking turtle. He has like tealish skin. Again, a hard exterior shell that kind of surrounds him. Equipment and stuff kind of hung from him. But you notice distinct shiny platinum claws in place of the natural claws that the other turtles have. They like gleam in the lantern light to the extent it kind of draws your eye. And then the third one is kind of a white-skinned one, smaller than the rest, the shell looking a little bit more tighter and more smooth than the others as well. There's little patches of yellow, like splotches and designs all over the skin and the shell, and there's green goop kind of trailing from the corners of its slightly open mouth as it's just kind of like staring from one person to the next. But these 3 turtles stop in front of you, the middle one craning his neck up to look at you, the long arc of it kind of allowing his head to see up, and he lifts the lantern up towards you, kind of shifting his head from one side to the other, slowly glancing back and forth to the other turtles. "Well, we are looking for a particular individual.
Yes, I thought so.
Well, who would that be?
Well, we are looking for a Lord Valerian.
I would just look over at Valerian.
As Rolly glances over, the Tortle's eyes kind of look over at Valerian as well. You see a hint of knowing in them as he nods his head towards Valerian. We have heard that he's in the area.
I sort of glance at Rolly, and then look back down at the Tortle and say, "I am he."
Well, what luck. I would like to put forth an invitation to follow us back to your home.
You're inviting me to return to my home.
Yes. It appears that a certain individual, Lord Rufert, has a desire to see you again.
Do you work for Rufert? Are you employed? Are you messengers?
We are the Shelled Marauders. You have certainly heard of us, no? So, Rolly and Valerian, give me a quick history check.
Did he say marauders?
Yeah. Okay. So Valerian, as you hear the name, a vague idea pops in your head. You've heard this name before, maybe in passing, maybe in a tavern at some point. You can't quite pin down what it was, but you remember the stories being told of this particular group being rather extraordinary. Well, we specialize in the retrieval of particular individuals, such as yourself.
Are you saying that you have been sent here to bring Valerian back home?
That is the gist of what I said.
And friend Tortle, if he refuses,
Well, I would hate to cause bloodshed so early in the morning.
You may consider your task complete. I will return to parley with Lord Rufort as soon as my business here is concluded.
Well, what luck. It seems your business just concluded.
Don't push me, soup.
I take great offense to that, Lord Valerian. If you would like, we can begin to fight.
It's not a matter of liking.
how about if we just said no?
Well, then I would murder you, and he points up to Rolly, and then he moves his finger over to Valerian, and then I would tie him up.
I don't particularly want to be murdered this early in the morning. Could we come to some sort of deal that doesn't involve Valerian going home right now and us fighting so early in the morning?
Well, our reputation is built on speed. So we would have to retrieve him now.
That won't be
Yes,
taking
yeah.
place.
I can see that you're very speedy individuals, but would you allow us to go back to our camp to pack some things first?
I think you think too little of me. I have been doing this longer than you've been alive. At this point, you see the one standing in front of you reaching down for a falchion at his side and very slowly drawing it from his scabbard as the one beside him who's drooling opens its mouth a little bit wider and you see a glob of it land on the ground, a little bit of steam rising up from it as they all kind of prepare for a potential problem to occur.
How
Would we know how fast Tortles can run?
They are certainly not known for their speed.
how loud has all of this been?
Not very loud. You guys are still sleeping.
Okay.
I would look at Valerian and look back towards our camp, kind of knowingly, like, let's make a run for it.
I'll make eye contact with Rolly.
And we're still 50, 60 feet away from them, right?
No, you're about
Or have
15
they
feet
closed
from
the
them now.
1-5?
Yeah, 1-5.
Yeah, I would just, I would wheel my horse around and try to disengage from the immediate area.
Okay. So as Rolly kind of tugs on the reins, the horse hadn't quite prepared itself for a sudden movement. You know, it kind of relaxed during the conversation. So as Rolly goes to tug, the horse kind of takes a second, like almost acting as if like, what, you want me to move? And then as you tug and you look back, both of you spot the turtle that has the green acid dripping from its mouth. It kind of brings its shoulders up, brings its head back into its shell, and you hear and then all of a sudden the mouth opens wide and a huge blast of green slime comes flying out of its mouth, most of it catching the side of Rolly's horse as it topples over to the side, throwing you down as you start to hear the wailing and screaming of your horse fill the air, waking everyone else up at the camp.
You're going to regret that, Turtle.
As
Just
he's yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, does Carl sleep?
No.
Okay.
But
I was just wondering.
as Rolly say that, he is slowly pulling out his second falchion as he's staring at you. I regret many things, but not this. And we're gonna roll initiative. Okie dokie. So we're opening up with Valerian, I suppose. After Rolly's horse has been sprayed with a green liquid that causes the horse to scream out bloody murder, Rolly thrown prone to the ground. As you are set upon Belgrise, I guess, set into a combat scenario.
So, I will use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself, which will raise my AC by 2, and it should raise Belgrise by 2 as well.
Okay.
And I will use my action to channel divinity. And I raise my glaive in the air, and Belgrise rears, and I say, "You've staked your life on your reputation." and the three of them make a Wisdom save, DC 16, against Frightened.
Okay. Okay. So give me Frightened. What does that do? Do they run away with their full movement?
No, that's the fear
fear.
spell.
Fear,
Frightened
sorry.
is just their ability checks are disadvantaged and they cannot willingly move toward me.
Okay. Sounds good.
Spencer,
So,
if I got that right.
I think so.
okay.
I've got the book here. I'll
I'm
double
looking it
check.
up, but that sounds right. Yeah,
Okay.
because I have Words of Terror that do that same frightened thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls
Okay.
while he's in line of sight. Can't
Gotcha.
move closer.
That's right.
Okay. So Valerian, as you let forth this bellowing command, or I guess thing. Words are hard.
Threat.
Threat. Thank you. The first one who was talking to you seems unfazed, as far as the second one to his left as well. But the pale one, the one that just spit acid, its jaw kind of hangs slack a little bit as it looks to the other two and looks a little bit concerned. So,
And that's it.
okay. So then we are to my man. Okay. So, yeah, I guess he's gonna move forth to Rolly, who's prone on the ground. Remind me, is it instant critical hits with someone prone, or is it advantage when prone?
Advantage, I believe.
Advantage when prone. It's instant critical when they're down, I think is what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so he's gonna roll to hit Rolly, I suppose, since he's on his ground. What's your AC? It's 18? 19?
18
Okay.
with resistance to bludgeoning and what was it? Piercing and slashing?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Alright, he's gonna hit twice. That's 7. That's 6. Gonna deal 13 damage. So the one in the front, the one that has all the spikes attached to its shell, is kind of gonna lumber forth, drawing out its falchions, and just start wailing down on the prone Rolly, as Rolly's kind of rolling around, using his shield, kind of trying to dodge out of the way, as two of the blades kind of connect to his armor, kind of scratching across the surface, but not really doing any real permanent damage. And then we get to the other man. Okay. And then this one, the one on his left, is going to charge forward, the one with the platinum claws, and he is going to lash out at Valerian on his horse. What's your AC? You have a +2 to your AC, correct, right now? Valerian, what is your total AC?
You muted, Val.
19.
19. Okay. Wow, he misses absolutely all of them. So as he charges forth, his claws kind of outstretched, he begins to try and slash around, but you and Belgrease kind of stepping to the side, you kind of using your glaive to kind of push his hands away every so often. He can't land a hit as his claws keep lashing out, little slashes of platinum coming across your vision. And then we're to Marcus, who has roused from his slumber to the screaming of horses and your lord being slashed at by a rather rugged-looking Tortle.
So, assuming I sleep without my armor, I don't have any armor equipped, do I?
So I've ran into this situation in the past. Usually what I rule, and everyone can put forth their ideas, is if you're out adventuring, sleeping on the side of the road, you have your armor either close enough to you or half on, or however you want to theme that, so that you don't wake up without armor for combat. If you want to rule that you took your armor off to sleep, I'm okay with it, but I find that a little bit obnoxious as far as making everything flow correctly. So...
Yeah, I mean, if you design this around us being in armor when woken up, then I'll just sort of go with the flow. Yeah, hand waving away like the doff times and everything. I wake up, see the carnage, and just sort of shout, "To arms!" I'm going to run over. This is 20 feet according to the roller tool. Drawing my longsword and one-handed, going to swing at this fellow.
Okay. So this is the one that is covered in spikes.
Yes.
Okay. So you can go ahead and swing for it. 16. That is a miss.
Okay. I guess I'll swing again.
Okay. It's also a miss.
Okay. I guess I'll use my action surge and then swing again.
Okay. Okay, that is a hit.
Alrighty.
Using it one-handed, correct?
Yes. So additionally, I would like to apply my distracting strike to this. So I expend one superiority die, and it gives advantage to the next friendly attacker on that. Okay. So it would be 8 damage in total.
Okay. So yes, as Marcus, you rouse and you charge forward, your long sword in hand. You strike, and it appears that the hide itself, or I guess the leathery skin, is thick enough that he can kind of glance away the sword the first time, your second one landing on his shell. But finally, the third jab, you actually get in, and it seems to kind of catch his eye as he glances over at you as you draw blood and bring back another, your sword to prepare. Anything else you're doing?
Yeah, so I have another attack as part of this second action.
Okay.
I would like to expend that attack and use a bonus action as part of a commander's strike, pointing to it and commanding Valerian to strike at it.
Strike, as we practiced!
So he now has disadvantage with a distracting strike on his attack, and then Valerian now has advantage attacking him?
He doesn't have disadvantage. Valerian has advantage.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Here it comes.
Anything else you got, Marcus? Okay, so 18 hits.
All right. Here's the damage, and I also will smite. It'll be
Also, you can add the 4 damage from the commander's strike to the damage.
Lovely. So 7 and 4, we're at 11. I'm going to use a second level slot for a smite, which I really should memorize this, is going to be 3d8.
So 21 total? Okay. So as Marcus dictates where to strike, and Valerian, finding the opportunity, swings his glaive wide, the blade kind of glowing with this subtle white energy as it strikes across the Tortle's chest. You see a small scratch across the softer side of his shell as he rears his head up at you again, kind of leaving a small indentation. But yeah, so you deal a whopping, it was 21? Yeah, 21 to this man. Okay. Anything else, Marcus?
That's my turn.
Okay. Thor, it is now your turn. You rise to see 2 turtles and 3 of your friends locked in melee combat. One kind of slobbering in the background.
Yep. So kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow waking up on the beach, I'll just kind of like throw myself up, look down at Carl, and then be half pissed and be like, "Carl, why didn't you tell me there was a fight happening?"
Carl just does the whole like pointing at his eye and pointing off to you.
Jesus, Carl. Okay. And then I'll get up, grab my stuff, and I will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, actually about here. Okay. I'd be like, what the fuck is that? I will be in between these two. And is the one behind, like, is the one this way? Is that the acid one?
Yeah, the one to the north, the white one, is the one that's dripping green liquid.
Okay. You look really fucking creepy. And then I will, since I'm already in half rage, I will go full rage. So let me just get that off. And then I will attack the tortoise.
Okay, the which one?
The one that I'm facing, the acid one.
Gotcha, okay. Nice.
Indeed.
That hits.
So that's...
So we're
9.
doubling dice roll, so that's a 4. So that'd be 8 total?
Yeah,
with your
8
dice?
plus 8 plus 7.
Okay.
So that's 15.
Okay. Nothing else on that?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. And you're using the rapier, correct? Just in case that ends
Yes.
up... Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You have
Got one shot
multi-attack,
him?
right? No.
Oh, yeah, I do have another attack. Nice. Forgot about that. So I guess I will strike him again.
15?
Yep.
That is a miss, sir.
All right.
So you come charging forth with your rapier, and you slash out, and you actually catch the side of its neck, slicing it open. And instead of, the traditional red blood you would think, you see the green goo coming out of its wound as you slash it through. You see its eyes kind of grow a little bit angry. It kind of turtling itself into its shell a little bit more. As you go to stab again, kind of glancing off its shell, now faced off with the drooling white Tortle. And then we're to Jarek's turn.
Jarek will run over here. There we go. And looking at these guys, can I get a read on... Let's see... how effective, like, just melee weapons would be versus using magic. Like, do they look like they have anything magical that's protecting them, or do they just look like they're heavily armored?
I mean, quick assumptions. You see that they're covered in armor. They have their shells as well. I mean, being a large turtle, your first assumption is they are rather resilient to any sort of physical harm. So yeah.
Okay.
But there isn't like any glowing magical rings or anything that you can spot.
In that case, let's see. I'll go ahead and hit or throw Dissonant Whispers at the one Thor is fighting, the acid one.
Okay.
Let me double check what that was. A Wisdom saving throw have to be to 14.
Okay. It fails.
It fails? Okay, so cast.
Okay.
11? That's it? God. Okay. And it must take its reaction to move away. As far as its speed allows, away from me.
Okay. That would trigger your opportunity attack, correct, Thor? You're muted. And also, you have Sentinel, correct? So if you hit, it would be unable to move?
Indeed. That is how this works.
Alright, go ahead and roll to hit. That is a hit. Okay. Okay. Yes.
And then as a bonus action, I'd like to play a little tune and throw some bardic inspiration Marcus's way.
Okay. So that's a 1d6, correct?
A 1d6, yeah.
Okay. So, Jarek, as you stand forth and you kind of cast your bardic energy across the battlefield to this slobbering Tortle. You see its like features kind of twist and it kind of glancing around unsure, and it goes to step back, but again Thor slashes across its front and it seems to have a moment of hesitation as another strike is landed on it, kind of freezing a little bit, unsure of what to do, as we bring about to its turn actually. So as it's looking around, seemingly panicked, it's still having made no noises except for just the drool kind of slipping down and falling onto the ground beneath it. It looks up at Thor, and then a quick singular action. You see all of the limbs shoot into the shell, and it lands with a heavy plod against the earth as it just turtles into itself and begins to gently kind of roll around, completely kind of enveloped by its shell.
He can try his wisdom save again at the end of his turns.
Okay, and this is the fear? No, this is the...
Yeah, it's the fear.
Fear, okay. And it was a 16 to beat? Or was it 15? What was it?
16.
16. Okay, it fails. That's its turn. So, Rolly, you are prone on the ground with chaos all around you.
Okay, so getting up takes half of my movement then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm let's see. So that would give me, I could get up and then try to move 10 feet away, right?
Indeed.
All right. So I'm going to try and get back here. Am I able to do that?
You're going to trigger a attack of opportunity on 2 of the individuals, the Tortles.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, remind me what the, was it distracting strike? Does that do anything? I forgot what you said, what that did. Spencer.
It already got used up by Valerian's attack.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Quick question. Who actually got frightened? I forgot. Was it just the one, or was
just
it
the white one in the back? Yes.
The white one, okay.
Yeah. Okay. There's a hit. And that is a miss.
Of course it is.
Hey.
So if opportunity attacks are going on to Rolly, then I would like to use my reaction to impose disadvantage on one of them.
Okay. It misses.
I just look over my shoulder and thank you, Marcus. And so that's the end of my movement, and then I would tell him it's time to invite some friends to the party, and then I would cast Spiritual Guardians. All right.
Okay.
So they've got to make a Wisdom save of 16.
Okay. Well, I'll just go with the rolls that they had. So 1 failed, 1 succeeded. So now we're back up to. Is there anything else you need to do, Rolly?
No, I just take a moment to admire all the little angelic figures bouncing around with mugs of ale in their hand.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of them as they bounce around kind of smack the ankles of the Tortles as they continue to dance around you. So, but okay, back up to Valerian.
So do we use flank?
So the way that I do flank, and Spencer may disagree with me, is that if you are actively engaged, like melee combat with one of them, and another party member goes to flank them, they don't have to be like on the opposite side of them. As long as they are actively being fought by another one, and their attention is on that one, then you can use flank. Is how I kind of rule it. So if Marcus is engaged in combat with this, and you attack him, you'd be flanking him.
All right. So the one on my left that was doing the talking, I think I might even like just scoot. Like technically, I'm inhabiting all 4 of these with my horse, but I would be flanking this dude directly in front of me.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Attack number 1.
Okay. That is a hit. Okay. Go ahead and give me a dex saving throw.
All right.
Okay. So as you slash out and you catch the actual shell that's kind of facing to your side as he's focused on Marcus, your glaive, hits through and deals damage. You can feel the connection. But as it connects, you see an almost instinctive flexing of the shell before the turtle kind of leans back quickly, and you see the razors and the spikes attached to it kind of digging into your leg briefly. It's a small bit of pain, but it's enough to kind of make you seize up and tense up for a moment. You take 4 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 2.
Okay. That hits. Okay.
And I'll smite with that one.
Okay.
First level.
Okay. Another 10 damage.
How's he looking?
Okay. So, as you step to the side, getting a better view, and you slash out, and you get the small bit of riposte as you attack, you feel a little bit of pain running up your leg. You strike again, and you strike again, your blade kind of glowing ever so slightly as you strike true, kind of catching the meat of his shoulder just outside of his shell. You see that he is still very much in the fight. He doesn't look like he's about to go down, or he's like wounded or injured or carrying himself in a certain way. He's very much ready to keep moving forward.
Okay. And he's the one that was doing the talking? Did I already ask you that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. And my my Polearm Master bonus.
Okay.
And that's a miss, I think.
That is a miss.
All right. And which one's spat?
The white one in the back.
The white one's spat.
It's currently in its shell.
All right. That'll be it for me.
Okay. So as Valerian, you strike, and you actually see a little blood drawn from the shoulder strike. The turtle in front of you does the same thing that the white turtle did. It quickly shooting all of its limbs in, the falchions that he was holding kind of dropping down to the ground as he lands hard, and you see the spiked shell begin to slowly start spinning, but quickly and quickly building up speed as this kind of spinning ball of metal is now at the base of Belgrease's feet, and that's his turn. So then the one standing next to him, the platinum clawed turtle, is just going to try and reach out and claw at you again, Valerian. Is your AC still 20?
19.
19, okay. Oh, damn, okay. And he's going to do... I am so bad at adding this shit up. Okay. That's 2. That's 11. That's 7. Okay. You take 15 damage as you watch the turtle kind of shooting in, the first one. The second one coming out of the side, kind of slashing at you, grabbing your leg, grabbing your arm, getting little scratches here and there. The claws leaving very small, thin wounds on you as he continues to kind of strike as much as he can. And that is his turn. So now we are back around to Marcus.
Concentration.
Oh,
Right.
oh yeah, because... Yeah. So it's a Constitution saving throw. What is the DC for that?
DC 10 or half of the damage, whichever is higher.
Gotcha. So it would have been DC 10, which you succeed? Okay. Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate it. So yes, your concentration stays up, and we're now to Marcus.
Alright, I would position myself so that I am next to Thor and Valerian, and then I would continue trying to chop up this fellow in front of me. Since they are both engaged, or rather, yeah, I get flanking this time, right?
Yes. So you're flanking, but he is on the ground, basically a spitting shell with blades on it. So you'd be attacking that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so in that case, I would strike with my longsword.
Okay. And you are flanking, so you get advantage.
Yes, let me see what that other roll would have been. Mamma mia.
Okay, so that's obviously a hit.
So how's this guy looking? Does he look bloodied?
So before he had shot into his shell, there were definitely wounds. There was definitely blood, but he doesn't look like he's about to collapse. He's definitely still fighting.
Okay, in that case, I will just tack on a commander's strike. Or rather, a distracting strike.
Okay.
So my martial die is only 1. Let me roll my actual damage here.
Okay, so 6 plus 1.
That was for the 1 roll. I assume I roll 2 dice with the critical hit.
Oh, yeah. So, well, that would be, your dice roll was 3. I just doubled the original dice roll.
Okay.
So that would be 6 plus 3, so that would be a 9 instead of a 6, plus the 1.
And then the plus 1. Yeah, so 10 in total.
And then this is slashing?
Yes.
Okay. Okie dokie. Anything else you're doing?
Yeah, I have another attack. I'm going to use it on a commander's strike. Advising Valerian to I guess Valerian still has his reaction, right?
Yes.
As far as I'm aware. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would advise him to attack the far fellow, this one.
Okay.
Do I have advantage on that or no? From the commanders.
It would just be a regular strike, correct? Spencer?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your definition of flanking, I guess.
Well, the
far
one, the one that you pinged, the one not in its shell, is not actively engaged with anyone but Valerian.
No, I was asking about the, I thought it might be one of the effects of the strike, but that might have been the previous one.
Yeah, that's the other one.
Okay.
So there's that.
16. All right, that is a miss.
Okay.
That's all.
So, gotcha. So, Marcus, as you strike down at the one that is slowly spinning, picking up speed, your sword connects, you feel the impact, but again, it kind of glances off of the shell, seeming to deal minimal amount of damage as it kind of glances and you catch itself and weave for another attack. Valerian trying to use your call out to attack, but the one kind of throwing its claws up, throws up enough of a flurry to kind of bounce his glaive away, not being able to actually make any sort of impact. So I guess that brings us to Thor.
Yeah, so the one in front of me is spinning.
Very
right?
slowly, but yes.
Very slowly. And then the one behind me just started spinning.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the
And
one... Oh.
You would have advantage on the one behind you.
Yes.
Due to flanking.
So the one behind me is covered in spikes. Is the one in front of me covered in spikes?
No, the one in front of you is the one that just drools green liquid.
Okay. How heavy do they look?
Very heavy. They're like almost your size and bigger than you.
Okay, hold on. Because I think I have... Sorry, I should have looked this up. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to try to turn around. Well, I'd turn around. And I'd like to try to flip him.
Okay.
If I can.
So I'll warn you that there's a chance you will just get hit by the blades just reaching down. Do you want to attempt that?
That is fine.
Okay, so go ahead, I guess give me a dex saving throw. And then we'll roll to see if you can flip them.
Okay. So I have advantage on dex
that you can see, yeah.
That I can see.
Yeah.
So 16.
Okay. So yes, you managed to avoid the kind of spinning blades and metal enough to grab hold of him. So now guess give me athletics.
Okay.
To see if you can flip him.
And then I have advantage on that because I am raging.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also just so you know, I have the powerful build. So just keep that.
Okay. So let me real quick go back. So it's a wisdom saving throw of 16, and they take that same radiant damage. How much was that? It was
13 was it?
13. Yeah. Okay.
Do you roll that each time, or is that?
It
I think
says
it's each time.
when the creature enters the area for the first time or starts its turn there, it must make a Wisdom saving throw. So I imagine it re-rolls each time.
Yeah.
So one succeeds, one fails. So he would take 13, and he would take 6. Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Valerian. Appreciate that. So Thor, as you manage to dodge your arms around the various bits of metal that are now furiously spinning, and you grip his shell, you stop him for a moment from spinning, like kind of slowing him down ever so slightly as you go to try and heave him, but he is an immensely heavy individual, and really all you can manage is getting him like halfway up before his momentum kind of pulls himself from your grasp and he continues to start spinning.
Okay.
So that's your turn?
I believe so because I did not attack.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so Jarek.
Okay, so I've seen these guys wail on the Tortles, and it's having like minimal to moderate effect, essentially.
Yeah, you see a lot of their glances kind of sliding off, especially the one that Marcus did to the turtle that was spinning. You saw that his sword basically just kind of passed against it, didn't really like leave any sort of mark on the shell.
Okay. Then I will go ahead. Which one looks the most dangerous as far as...
Well, one is covered in metal and spinning. One is furiously trying to swipe at Valerian, and the other one is in a shell spinning with green liquid kind of drooling out of one of the holes.
Oh, God, I don't trust that one so much. I don't trust magic casters as magic caster. And then to clarify, it's still frightened.
Yeah, the white one in the back?
Okay. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and hit the spinning metal one in the middle. With another Dissonant Whispers first level.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw of 14.
Okay. It succeeds.
So it'll take half damage, and it does not have to try and move.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Much. Bonus action. I'll go ahead and throw out a few more notes and call out to Thor. You're doing great, buddy, and throw him some bardic inspiration as well.
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
So remind me, does bardic inspiration last multiple rounds, or if you don't use it, okay, it does?
10 minutes.
Okay,
10
gotcha.
minutes, yeah.
Okay, so Spencer,
Nice.
you still have one, correct? Okay, cool.
Is it a D6 or a D8?
1d6.
D6, yeah. I think it turns to a D8.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I just didn't know when.
Okay, so Thor, since you turned around, I'm going to say that you don't see this happening because you're not facing it. But as we come to the white turtle's turn, its spinning gets faster and faster until you see the green goo that was like dropping from its mouth come spewing out of the hole that the head had hidden into, and it begins to spiral fling acid around it as it continues to spin and spin, and it's trying to land on your back. I'm going to let you do a dex saving throw, but not at advantage. Okay. Where's my dice? Okay.
Is this an attack? I'm just curious.
I wouldn't categorize it as such.
you can use your bardic inspiration on that saving throw if you want.
Why not?
Okay.
Who knows how much it'll help, but hey, we're out.
Okay. Let me make sure I get this right. Okay. So yeah, you're the only one struck by it. It lands on your back, and you feel this burning sensation as the goo actually hits your skin, immediately beginning to try and eat through the thick layer of Goliath skin that you have. You take you're resistant to poison or acid damage when you're raging. Yeah. So you take 4 damage. Give me a con saving throw. Okay. So you feel the acid eating away at you, but you kind of flex and kind of push it away. You're kind of using your own resilience to kind of let the effect be a little bit less as you just take the simple damage and feel your back kind of burning and itching a little bit.
It was 4 damage.
Yeah, 4 damage.
Okay, that's the reduced.
Yeah. I'll always give you reduced.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and then once it's done spiraling and spitting, you see its head come up. It's like starting to stand back up into its actual combat stance that it was in previously. And then I guess we're down to Rolly again.
Okay. So, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna move there.
Okay.
And that should trigger for the white one, the
It's
the
16 DC?
yeah.
Okay. It fails, so it takes what? It was the 13 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And they're still at half movement while they're in there, but
Yep.
and then I can't cast anything else, can I? While I'm channeling this.
You can't cast other concentration spells, right? But you could still cast a spell, or am I wrong about that?
Could I still cast a spell, or
As long as it's not concentration.
Yeah.
right? Okay, yeah. Okay. Then I will cast Guiding Bolt at. Let's see here. Which one of these is looking worse?
Well, everyone's been wailing on the one that's currently spitting. He seems to have taken the most of the damage.
Okay. And the second most?
Potentially the spitty one.
Yeah, I think we barely touched the other one.
Yeah, so we've been attacking this one, but what about this one right here in the middle?
That's the one that's spinning and been the most attacked.
Spinning. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so on that one, I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at level 3.
Okay.
And that's a +8 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. 21.
That hits.
Okay.
So it takes 22, and there's advantage on the next attack dealt to him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Good stuff.
And that would be the end of my turn.
Okay. So now we're up to Valerian.
All right. Is that just the next attack on him? So I only get 1 at advantage. Well, I'm flanking him anyway.
Yeah.
Dang. I almost want to not consume the guiding bolt. Leave that for somebody else.
I mean, no matter what, we have advantage on it.
Yeah. Hey, well, he's got to go down. Who knows what's going to happen when he rips his Beyblade. So numero uno. Oh,
That's a hit. So double the dice, 7, so 14, so 18.
This is a good time to specify that I want to incapacitate him as opposed to killing him.
Okay.
Which if I know my PHB as a melee attack, it just means that
Yep.
I declare it.
Okay.
I declare bankruptcy. Number 2.
That is a miss.
All right, and my bonus. Darn.
That is a miss.
All
So
right.
as this spinning ball is getting to almost an intense momentum that begins to kind of kick up dust, you slash your glaive out, and you see that you catch the opening that his head went into, kind of cutting across what would be the top of his head as he continues to spin faster and faster. Your other two just missing entirely. But now we get to its turn, where the shell, which was kind of rotating on its kind of softer side, actually gets up onto its side, so it's rolling on kind of the thinner edge of it, and then begins to roll around in a spiral formation, attempting to kind of hit everybody around him with the actual blades and spikes on his shell. So everyone directly around him, which is Thor, Marcus, and Valerian, are going to give me a dexterity saving throw. Thor, you do get advantage because you see this. Okay. Thor, you succeed. Valerian, you fail. Marcus, you fail. Marcus, you want to use your inspiration for this? You're muted.
Nah, I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay. So what was I rolling? It's, where the hell are they? I really need to get this more organized. Here we go. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay. Okay. Thor, you take 8 damage. Valerian and Marcus, you take so it was half is half.
24.
Yes, thank you. You take 24 damage, and I guess, yeah, because 24 halved is 16, and 16 half is 8, which is what you got, because you're
24
resistant.
half is 12. Half is 6.
Oh, I know. So it's 26.
So it's
Wait.
No,
You
it'd
took
be
8.
32.
32.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, sorry. Valor and Marcus, you take 32. Thor, you take 8. Valerian and Marcus are knocked prone from the actual impact of his body. So both of you are knocked to the ground. I guess Valerian, you're knocked off your horse entirely.
I
And
would
then
normally have a save unless that's.
Is there a
not
save? Sorry, I'm really uninformed about mounted combat.
Was that the dex save, though?
Well,
Well,
you're hit
just
by an
avoid
attack
damage.
that would put you prone. How does that work with a mount? Do you know?
My belief is that I would get a dex save, which I would make at advantage due to having a military saddle on Belgreaves.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
I have no idea what the DC is.
Yeah, that's still a fail. So, you are
Okay.
knocked from your horse, hit the ground, you're prone, take the appropriate damage. And then after it's done spinning and it feels the different hits as it kind of bounces from one of you to the next, it slows down its spin, its head and arms coming back out as it kind of groggily reaches for its falchions that have been kind of cast aside and begins to stand back up.
I would take my attack of Sentinelness.
Don't forget his wisdom save.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. Okay, he succeeds. So that's what, it's 13 halves of 6?
Well, you roll it each time, right?
Yeah, but he takes half damage when he succeeds, and it's 13 damage, so he takes 6 damage. I think I got that one.
Are you talking about Rob's thing?
Yeah, Rob's thing.
But you roll it each time. The 3d8.
Do we roll each
Or you
time? I was
just-
just going off the first damage you rolled.
Oh, I thought you rolled it each time. But yeah, I guess it
Up to
doesn't
the
matter.
DM.
Oh. Oh. Are we all back? That was
Not
odd.
back.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go with the initial damage roll.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Make it easier. Alright, so Thor, you were going to... so Sentinel is when he attacks, correct?
Yes. Was that
So
not an attack?
I don't think I'm going to classify that as an attack.
Okay.
Okay, so then we are to Claws, who now is going to try and jump on the prone Valerian and attempt to attack him. So that is advantage. Where's this thing? Did your concentration, right, Valerian?
That's right.
So it was, 32 damage? So the DC would be 16? Okay, so you no longer have your, whatever it's called. Sorry, I forgot the name.
That's right.
Okay. So now your AC is what, 16?
17.
17, okay. Okay, hit. Hit. Hit.
He's probably down from the first one, Chief.
What?
The first hit's probably it.
Oh, are you that low?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna go down. How low are you?
4.
Okay. Well, I still gotta roll it.
Sorry, if they're just outright attacking him, I would roll to impose disadvantage, or rather, use my reaction.
Can you do that when prone?
Doesn't say I can't.
Alright, I'm cool with it. So you're imposing disadvantage?
Yes.
I don't remember the fucking second rolls. I still think half of them hit, as far as I'm aware. I didn't memorize all the lower rolls. So I'll just roll half of them as hits, instead of all of them. 6. You take 25 damage.
And that was the one with the claws, right?
Yeah.
I haven't engaged with him, but I am facing him, and he's within my melee range. Would that trigger a Sentinel attack?
So Sentinel you can use when someone makes an attack within your range, correct?
When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you.
Yes. So yeah, you can attack him.
And I will do that.
Okay. Do I want to give you advantage for flanking as an opportunity attack? Is that a thing? Have we done that before? I can't remember.
It's up to you.
I'm going to go with yes because you are flanking.
Okay.
So go ahead, roll with advantage. Okay, so that hits.
And it's 12.
Okay. Okay. So as Marcus, you're thrown to the ground, Valerian, you're thrown off your horse, Thor, you kind of use your arm to take away most of the damage from the spinning one. As you see Valerian fall, you see the one with the platinum claws almost getting this kind of frenzied look in his eyes as he reaches forward and just starts wailing on... Whoa. My leg just pushed me back. As he just starts wailing on Valerian, his claws kind of flying here and there as you see Valerian's body go limp. He just not responding to any of the damage being tossed into his skin. In your reaction, seeing Valerian at such a, exposed state, you reach forward and slash, and you strike the back of his neck, but you don't quite do anything to stop him as he continues to just wail on Valerian. Which then brings us to Marcus.
So I guess I'm going to use my bonus action for a second wind. 1d10 plus 5.
Okay.
Let me try and get it to roll. Come on. Come on. I know you can do this beyond 20.
Oh, whoa. Oh, Jesus. We'll go
Wow.
with the first one, which is 14
Okay.
on my screen.
Cool. So I'm at 26.
Okay.
And, is Valerian downed?
Yes, Valerian is down.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my action to try to stabilize him.
Okay. So is there a set ruling for stabilizing a down player? Is there
I
a
believe it's DC 10.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you are able to stabilize him, even though he just got done being kind of wrenched apart by a bunch of claws.
And after stabilizing him, I guess I should stand up too.
Yeah. You're just kind of reaching over prone like, Valerian. But yes, so now you're up.
Okay, and I guess, can I use my movement to, like, carry Valerian to here, or, like, carry/push him to here, and, like, put myself here, so that I like, try and protect him from harm?
So you've used bonus action for second wind. You used action to stabilize, and you've half your movement to stand up, correct? That's what we've used so far?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say you can move over him, like stand over his body, but I'm not going to say you can move him.
Okay, good enough for me. I'll, stand right here then, and my turn.
Okay. Brings us to Thor.
Yep, there's the unmute button. So I will, I guess, just go ahead and try to unload on the guy in front of me.
Okay. The one that just stood back up?
Yes.
Okay. And you are not aiming to incapacitate, correct?
Not at the moment, nope.
Okay.
Wasn't told to do that.
Okay, well that is a hit.
Alright. And then that is 14.
Okay. Are you choosing to use your sword's special properties?
Yeah.
Okay. So as he stands back up, grabbing his falchions from his spinning maneuver that had seemed to take out a decent chunk of your fighting force, he still isn't looking at you as he squares up with Marcus, who's now standing over Valerian. You see him kind of reaffirming his grip on his falchions, and you just quickly jab the rapier through the back of his neck, poking out the front. As Marcus, you see the life quickly drain from his eyes, his body going limp, falling down to one knee, and as his body is falling completely down to the earth, you see the green spectral being that mimics his appearance stepping out of the physical form, standing up tall, holding its spectral falchions as it turns to look at Thor, kind of giving Thor a little head nod as you now command a spectral version of the turtle that was in front of you.
Very nice. And then I will turn to this one.
Mm-hmm.
And would I guess, still have advantage on this one?
Yes. You're flanking it, yeah.
So then I will make my second attack on that one.
Okay, that is a hit.
That does 10.
Okay. So as the spectral figure steps out, you give it a quick little nod, you bring your rapier again, you stab the second one as its arm is darting out to kind of come back from attacking Valerian. You cleave a nice little slice down the length of its arm, kind of looking over at you with a little snarl on its face.
And just to make sure, I command it on my next turn?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we're down to Jarek.
Okay, so we have a spectral one. Is the acid one still spinning?
No, it has stood up at this point.
It has stood up. And then the other one is attacking. Alright, yeah, Gel.
Oh, I didn't roll the saving throw for the claws guy. Okay, he succeeded. Sorry, continue.
Pick the belly button lint out and kind of rub my tattoo and dog, I really need some help here. And throw out a guiding bolt at, let's see, we'll do the claws one.
Okay.
And let me see, bolt.
Okay, that is a hit. Okay. And then there's advantage on the next attack against him?
Yes, as it glimmers with dim light.
Yeah, so you see the energy kind of forming in your tattoo before a quick burst of energy shoots out, finding the actual neck and the kind of the hole that the turtle would kind of pull its head into, leaving this glowing bright spot of where to strike as it takes the damage and kind of flinches a little bit.
And from there, go ahead and use my, let me double check, that's a bonus action. Features. Bonus action. I will go ahead and spend a healing light, and that's 1d6. God, 1d6. 1d6, yeah. So 2 on Valerian, and go ahead and throw some healing light his way.
Okay.
And I'm good where I am. Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. So again, I should probably know this, but I don't. If you are unconscious and receive healing, does that stand you back up, or do you have to heal the damage you had taken past your unconscious state?
I think it's just...
You can just stand back up.
Okay, so yes, Valerian, as you wake back up, Marcus standing over you, wounds covering your body aching from the fall. You were groggily woken back up on your back, glaive still in hand as you realize the fight is continuing. Okay. Jarek, anything else?
See my spectral ghost.
No, that is good for me.
Okay, so now we're to Slime Queen, who at this point keeps getting thwacked in the ankles by... Oh, wait, actually, after you. Yeah, keeps getting thwacked in the ankles by spiritual dwarves that keep running by and hitting her with mugs of ale. Looking over at Rolly angrily, you see her kind of curl back her shoulders again, hearing that... And then a glob of green slime that struck your horse earlier comes shooting out towards you. You gotta give me a dexterity saving throw.
Quick question. Does that count as an attack?
Yes.
Is it still frightened? I didn't remember if that was a concentration.
Oh, does it
on
roll
Valorant's
at the beginning of each turn from you?
Yes. I think it does for every
Because you...
type
Yeah,
of
you... Yeah. So what was the DC for you, Jarek? For your... It was,
me.
Dissident Whispers, right? Is what you used?
No. Didn't Valerian frighten it using...
Well, that's gone because he got knocked out, and I think he failed his Constitution save.
That's right. Never mind.
But doesn't Dissonant Whispers do that?
No, it just causes it to run.
Oh, to run. Yeah.
As a reaction. That's it.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry. So the glob counts as an attack, but the shell spin does not. Correct?
Yeah.
Is it because the shell spin had multiple targets?
Yeah, because it's not targeted at anyone. It's just kind of happening around it. So that's why I'm kind of clarifying it as this is an attack, and the shell spin isn't an attack, because it's kind of just doing it as a self-defense mechanism versus attacking someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of an area of effect versus associated attack.
Okay. But yeah, so this is an attack, but it does not have the effects from Valor anymore. Thor, have you used your reaction this turn?
Not this turn, no.
So you could use Sentinel to attack it if you'd like.
Let's do it.
Okay.
This one is the only one without advantage on it.
Rolly, you do succeed in your dexterity saving throw. So as the cloud is flying at you, you kind of step back as it just flings by your front, lands at a tree behind you as you hear it begin to kind of burn the bark away. That is a miss.
That's gross.
Okay. So now we're down to Rolly again.
Rolly was offended by that. Now I'm looking over, and Valerian stood back up, but he's not
stood up. He's woken up. He's still on his back.
Okay. Very damaged, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. He does not look too great.
Okay. Let's see. I will cast. Let's see. Where is? That's Valerian right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Valerian is under Marcus, yes.
Yeah. So, I'll go next to Valerian.
Mm-hmm.
And cast. Which one does more? I should know this.
Cure Wounds does.
Yeah. So Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay.
So 16 points of healing. And then I'll just turn back to face the turtles and get ready for the next round.
Okay. So we're back up to Valerian, who you have woken back up from your grievous wounds, and you felt different energies of healing entering your body, kind of reviving you a little bit, using part of your adrenaline to kind of get you back up and into the fight.
Oh, the shame of having been knocked down by these guys. So I gotta get to my feet first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which square to occupy here.
We'll just say that you guys are occupying the same space for now, but potentially move, or Marcus will move, one of the two.
All right. I am going to cast Wrathful Smite with a bonus action. If I hit, I have to concentrate on it. It's a spell, which is why I already cast it. But if I hit, he'll take that 4
Psychic
and have a Wisdom save versus more fear.
Okay.
Do I have a bonus to hit him?
The claw one, yeah, he has Guiding Bolt on him currently.
All right. Yay!
Yep, that hits.
And there's that.
So double the dice, which was 2, so that's a 4, so it's 8, plus the 4, which is 12.
I'm gonna smite as well, which will also
Okay.
benefit from that.
Okay, so that's 26. Correct?
Sounds right.
Okay. So as Valerian stands back up, everyone sees the absolute fuming expression on his face, putting off any sort of grievous wounds or pain that he may have, as he focuses all of his anger and frustration and a little bit of, not humility, embarrassment, as he grabs his glaive and just wallops on the claw guy, the guiding bolt glowing the neck a little bit, as Valerian slices a big gash across the chest of the Tortle, kind of catching a little bit of the glowing guiding bolt, but definitely dealing a rather intense blow to him. Anything else you got, sir?
Yeah, here comes another one.
Okay. That is a miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've already used my bonus. Did he make that wit save?
Would he have an advantage on that?
No, because he's currently fighting Valerian. He's facing him, so he would not get flanking.
For the claws guy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm engaged with him.
You're hitting him, but he's not engaged with you. So you're getting
Okay.
flanking, but he's focused on Valerian.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah, what was the DC for that? Was
16.
it 16? Okay, he fails. So it's fear, disadvantage on attacks and saving throws, and can't move towards you?
Disadvantage on everything, and he
Okay.
can't move toward me.
Gotcha.
It's basically everything.
Okay.
I don't know if it's actually everything, but it's perfect.
I gotcha. Alright, so then we are to Claws, who after receiving such a vicious blow across its neck and feeling the pure hatred rolling off of Valerian, he glances around, gets a panicked look as he sees his former boss in a spectral form next to him, and he's going to attempt to flee. So that's going to give Rolly, Marcus, Valerian, the spectral figure, and Thor
Not
attacks of opportunity. Oh, well, no.
I already used
used it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you still get to attack for, well, actually, I guess I'll attack for the spectral.
Yeah. You go ahead and do that work.
And I guess Rolly and Marcus would get flanking. The spectral figure would get flanking. Valerian would not get flanking. Spectral figure misses. Marcus misses. Rolly, you get to roll with advantage. And Valerian, you miss. God damn.
I haven't attacked yet.
Oh, I thought that 14 was your second attack. So yeah, you still get to attack for your... Okay, that is a miss. Oh, and he has to do Rolly's stupid thing. Which he fails, so he takes the full 16. No, it was the 13. 13. Rolly, you... Oh, nope. This is falling apart, Rolly.
I think he. Oh gosh.
You roll damage. You gotta roll to attack.
Yeah, I rolled to attack after that. It was 11. I don't think it hit.
Well, you roll with your crossbow, but you roll with advantage. Roll with advantage for your hammer.
I think
I
it's the same addition to hit.
Yeah, it's the same one. Oh no, it's not. It's +6.
Whoa. Hey.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll roll this one. There we go.
Okay, so that hits.
There we go.
Didn't by chance take that Sentinel feat, did you?
Damn. Okay. So that's 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as he chooses to flee, turning around, kind of dodging all the different various attacks, the spectral figure not being able to hit, Rolly bonks him hard on the back of the head with his hammer, kind of sending him stumbling forward with his weight, only making it about 10 feet forward before he's like super dazed, looking very on his last legs, kind of falling, stumbling down to one knee, looking back at you absolutely terrified. And then we're to Marcus.
How's old Goppy-Goo looking?
Goppy-Goo doesn't seem to really comprehend what's going on. Is definitely damaged. There's a few wounds and whatnot visible. Again, just secreting that green goop. But yeah, damaged, but not severely.
But not reacting to their companion running at all?
No.
Thor and his ghost friend seem like they can handle it. So Marcus is just going to take a running start and try to like linebacker tackle this fleeing foe.
Okay. So athletics?
Yeah, athletics contest. This is a grapple.
Okay. You succeed.
Alright, and then to make sure they really don't get away, while grappled, I'm going to initiate a shove attack to knock them prone, which is just another athletics contest.
Okay. You succeed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marcus is basically just choking out this poor turtle at this point. I guess I end my turn on top of it.
Okay, is your goal to knock him unconscious?
Yeah, hold him captive, if knock him unconscious. Whatever.
I'm gonna say as you tackle him, the impact alone knocks him unconscious. Like, as you hit the ground with him, he is out. His neck is kind of limply hanging him out. So, okay. But, yeah, so Thor.
I would like to instruct my ghost to attack the globby glue.
Okay, so move up here and attack.
Yup. And can he have advantage? Or
Yep.
Are you okay?
Yep.
Good.
Hits.
And I rolled a 24.
Okay. You hit. Oh, jeez. 11, 12. No, shit. Okay. So that's 12. That's 9. That's 6. That's a lot of damage. I give up. I'm not gonna do that math. Because he also has to roll 9. Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, there's no reason to roll this. As Thor kind of dictates the spectral figure, you see it just kind of like emotionlessly, kind of trudge forward, takes its falchions, and just starts lobbing off the head of Gobbledygook. The green goo kind of flowing rapidly from its neck as the falchions just continue to strike until its head is just cleanly sliced off and hits the ground with a thud.
And then I will attempt to high five my ghost before it probably will disappear soon.
But yes, for all intents and purposes, that will end combat, so I think that is a good time for a 10-minute break. So, as Thor, your spectral Tortle severs the head of its companion and then dissipates, the gloppity gloop turtle falling dead on the floor. Marcus off a few feet away, still choke holding the unconscious Tortle that he's on top of. You all find yourself in the wake of the combat that you just messed with. It's probably just reaching dawn at this point. The sun just kind of creeping over the horizon as you all kind of take stock of what just happened.
So straight away, I want to grab my 2 sets of manacles from my belongings and get Marcus's Corey off his hands, get him locked down. I want to manacle wrists and ankles and loop the manacles through each other. So it's sort of a hog tie, but with chains.
Okay.
So,
yes.
As Valerian is doing that, Marcus would hurriedly release his quarry and go over to him and say,
Lord Valerian, are you all right? You took a fall during the battle.
Valerian just holds a hand up. I'll be all right. Thank you.
Oh, perfect.
Marcus is just going to slap him hard across the face.
What in the Earthfather's name were those foes doing in our camp? You were on watch, were you not?
I'll tell you all about it. If I could just have some space with this one. Everyone, thank you.
So meanwhile, Adam, who was woken up during this commotion, is sat on his bedroll about 30 or 40 feet away, having not moved a muscle during this whole interaction, just staring at you guys, mouth kind of slack a little bit, his eyes moving from one person to the next, just seemingly completely shocked at the situation.
I imagine Carl would just be poking.
So Valerian, as far as your manacles are concerned, I'm imagining they are, human-sized manacles, right? I don't know if the Tortle is flexible enough to move its limbs far enough back to loop them through each other. Does that make sense?
What about going through the front?
Okay, yeah, I could see that happening. Okay.
Take what I can get.
Okay.
Can I assist him with rope?
Do you want assistance?
This last living fellow has platinum claws, right?
Yes. Well, Valerian, do you want assistance with Jarek's rope?
I won't stop him.
Okay. So you're going to manacle this man and then restrain him with a rope. Is there any particular way you want to do that, Jarek?
I figure a typical, like a noose around the neck going along the back.
Okay.
To connect to the leg manacles. So that way, the more movement, it's just going to pull his head back. And then... Can I pull those claws off? Is that like equipped weapons, or is that literally grown?
They are planted in his flesh.
Up. Be careful, Jarek. Watch. Marcus is going to haul over the corpse of one of his dead companions and just take the hand of the unconscious Tortle and sort of push the platinum claws into the shell of his fellow as hard as possible before either the shell gives or the claws give.
Okay, are you pushing it into the hard or the soft side of the Tortle?
The hard side.
Okay. It definitely takes a little bit of effort, kind of sitting there and jamming on it. You see the claw get in ever so slightly before where the claw actually arcs begins to kind of bend slightly under the pressure.
Yeah, and the goal is to dull, break, or just outright excise the claws from this individual.
Okay. Yeah, so if you went and did that down each, finger or hand, you would manage to curl the claws in enough that the actual point is pointed almost back towards his palm, curving them almost all the way around. Okay.
Valerian, I don't know if this will help, but I can charm him a little bit to make him more pliable for any questions he would have.
So he's sort of, after we get this guy trussed up, Valerian is sort of like, he's kind of heaving like a gymnast. I just... and he says, I think I'll take him less pliable.
Attaboy.
Well, let me know if you need any healing then, I guess.
He just nods.
So,
And I'll
reminder
run
to Thor and Jarek, you woke up to the battle, so you really don't have any idea what has happened prior to that.
Yeah.
Or not prior, sorry.
I will run over to JD and be like, JD, are you okay? Are you dead? Are you dying, JD?
No, I learned my lesson. I hid next to the tent the whole time.
Okay. Okay, also, does anybody know what these people are? Who these people are? Why did I just kill this guy?
They were here for me. Give me some space. I will tell you everything I find out. Feel free to toss the other two.
I'll play a menacing tune and throw him my last bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Whatever we do, make sure we get the platinum.
I would like to inspect the corpses for any markings of allegiance, any writs, anything that would tell Marcus, I guess, what the fuck they were doing here.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh, I was gonna have JD and I loot the bodies.
Do you want to give Marcus advantage then?
Sure.
Okay. Marcus, I guess go ahead and roll with advantage. Okay. So, Valerian, are you taking the unconscious Tortle off to a different location?
Not so much a different location, maybe just dragging him to the edge of our clearing.
camped?
Yeah, but I don't actually want to get out of sight.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So as Valerian struggles for a little bit to get the heavy Tortle kind of dragged to a position, kind of leaning him up against a tree at the edge of the campsite, Marcus, Jarek, and Thor go about searching the other two, trying to figure out, any sort of, information or just finding anything of importance. As you approach the one that was dribbling the green goop, you see, her blood being replaced with this actual acidic, viscous fluid. As it's seeping out of her dead body, you see the grass and the foliage kind of burning and dying as it, the puddle gets larger and larger. Having to kind of avoid the acidic goop to kind of, turn her over and look her over and whatnot, you realize that she's carrying very little. She has a backpack on, but it mainly just contains food. The food just being kind of like a bundle of dried vegetation. There isn't really anything of any importance on this particular individual. But as you move to the main one, the one that had been speaking to Valerian at the beginning, and look him over, you see he has a very large pack on. He has a bunch of pouches and whatnot. There's a few bit of, knickknacks, coins, jewelry, things of that nature, which of course we can get into the value of in a minute. But Marcus, as you're digging through his pockets, you see a small rolled up letter. You see the sigil of the House of Rufert. The House of Solomon, sorry. Stamped on the letter itself. You recognize it by being very familiar with this house. But that is basically the most important thing you find.
What do I know about this house?
So, the House of Solomon, as far as it's concerning you and Valerian, is more or less kind of the rival house, or the house that kind of wields financial control over Athelvain and their estate. So seeing that symbol really only gives you bad vibes.
I would carefully roll up the scroll while also spitting on the corpse.
Okay. And then as well, you find 50 gold pieces, 6 silver pieces, and 2 copper. However you want to divvy that up, take it, leave it, however you want to handle that.
Well, 50 gold pieces and 6 copper. How many silver?
8. That's it? 8 or 6. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess Marcus would show the valuables to the various party members, and then he would hang on to 10 gold pieces, 2 silver pieces, and 1 copper.
Okay.
So that's 40 gold pieces and 6 silver pieces and 5 copper to be distributed amongst the rest.
Okay. Well, we can handle that when everyone is back together. Valerian, should we hop over to you?
Sure.
Okay. So as you get your Tortle kind of set up against the tree, kind of secluding yourself a little bit from the party, you see its body trying to like slowly bring itself back. You know, the fingers and whatnot kind of flexing a little bit. The chest, well, I guess we can call it chest, kind of slowly rising and falling before you see the eyes kind of groggily open. The very dark pupils in them kind of peering around before actually finding you in its groggy state. Its eyes now just staring at you as it's semi-awake.
So remind me about, I had heard of the Marauders.
Mm-hmm. The Shelled Marauders.
The Shelled Marauders, and that their reputation was, like, extraordinary.
Yeah, the vibe you get, or at least what you recall, is they're rather renowned for being very professional, very dependable. More or less, from what you can remember, they're just kind of like general mercenaries that have done some pretty amazing feats.
Okay. So their reputation is not as like just cutthroats or assassins. They actually have something like honor, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. So as he starts to wake up, Valerian actually just kind of squats down somewhat nearby. Well, I'll give you credit. I was unprepared. Cocky. Still, it didn't turn out quite like you envisioned, I'm sure.
You see, the facial features of this individual is kind of hard to read, being a different species that you're not quite used to. But from the glint you see in his eye and the kind of twitch with the jawline of his mouth, you can more or less discern that he kind of gets a little bit of a smirk as he kind of lifts his head up a little bit more to actually look at you fully.
Some foppish lord catch up with him in the woods. What could be simpler?
Just slowly, it nods its head up and down at you.
How did you know where to look?
You see its head turn towards the body that is currently being looted by Marcus, Jarek, and Thor, and then its head turn back to you. And as it looks back up, you see its mouth open. You see the distinct lack of a tongue before it just goes, ah!
That's great. You left the one alive that can't talk.
I believe our friend here can communicate more than he lets on.
Marcus is going to approach this thing, and just sort of like show his dagger or hunting knife, and look at Swear in the eyes and say,
Nod if you want to die.
The Tortle kind of looks up at you, looks down at himself, looks at the previous battlefield, kind of tries to sit up as much as he can, cranes his neck back to reveal, the kind of long part of his throat, and just kind of waits.
You see?
You guys need any help?
Not yet.
It can understand us and communicate in the affirmative or the negative.
Were we betrayed?
The Tortle kind of looks up at you, and as best as he can, kind of shifts his shell up and down in almost like a kind of shrugging motion.
Did Salomon hire you in secret?
Looks over at the Tortle that had been turned to the spectral being. Head hangs low a little bit, and then kind of shakes his head up and down, or nods his head up and down.
Valerian will look over at Marcus, sort of including him in this exchange.
Were you paid more than 50 gold for this endeavor?
Kind of nods its head a little bit back and forth before eventually nodding up and down.
Are there more coming?
Again, the kind of shrug with the shell.
Were you dispatched within the last week?
Slowly lowers its head and shakes it back and forth.
They've been on our trail for a while, it seems. Although how they found us this far north.
Duke Braun had said that he would cover our tracks. Apparently he's not as cunning as he thinks.
Were you expecting us here? Be honest.
The Tortle kind of shrugs a little bit and then shakes its head.
It doesn't seem to be lying, but who knows?
Have you been searching this road and only this road?
Shakes its head no.
Roy Schmazev.
Nods.
Well, that makes sense enough. So you didn't know that we had gone to Kraylin?
Shakes its head.
Well, I wanted to peel you, but I'm satisfied. Does anyone else have anything?
Just
Do you have any next of kin that would like to be apprised of your imminent death?
The Tortle kind of looks over at its dead brethren, kind of nods its head in that direction. Ah!
They were your kin?
Nods its head.
My condolences. And then I will grant him a quick death.
Okay. So, Adam's finally going to stand up at this point. Walk his way over to Thor, silently kind of standing there before gently poking you on the leg, looking very terrified.
Adam?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say I would walk up and pick up Carl. Yeah. As he was poking his leg. Hey Adam, how's it hanging, Just your normal good morning wake up call here.
Is this normal?
I mean, not exactly like normal, but it does happen sometimes. Kind of like everybody travels. There are people out there who, want to kill you, want to do stuff to you that you don't want to do, so then you get into a fight.
Yeah,
We usually have breakfast first, though.
I know I'm not supposed to ask any questions, but
That's right, Adam. Don't ask questions.
You needn't worry about meeting their fate unless you plan on attacking us as we sleep.
Well, I mean, but what's your question, Adam? I'm curious now. Whether I answer it or not, depends.
he kind of looks around at everybody. He's very out of his element. It's very apparent. Before looking up at Thor, and he just closes his mouth and just shakes his head a little bit. Just.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to talk, but just know you're not required to fight with us. You can stick back with Carl. You can poke each other if you want to.
That's why I didn't move.
Yeah, no, that was a good idea. But if they start coming closer to you, then you move. Make sure they're the only ones there. Don't move into somebody else who's gonna kill you.
Even better, if you'd like to contribute more than the young lord, you could rouse the alarm once we're under attack.
Or that.
Oh, Thor. Do you want to send a message over to Duke Braun? I'm sure Valerian and Marcus are.
I'm getting there. I'm having a very in-depth conversation with Adam. Okay, this is very important. We're discussing ground rules for ambushes, and Marcus is contributing his opinion.
Valerian will kind of turn, like he's not actually going to touch Marcus, but he'll just sort of hold an arm out and kind of turn him away from the group and just sort of say, Marcus, I know, forgive me. I saw them coming, honestly. Didn't think it had anything to do with us. I was going to say good morning, find out their business, and come back to camp.
Would I have heard any of that?
Are you saying it loud enough to someone over here, Valerian?
It's under his breath. The intention is not for everybody to hear, but...
Yeah, so I would say really you probably don't hear it.
I understand how such an incident can occur. However, know that I would much rather be awoken prematurely than to have something happen to you.
I understand. Next time we'll go very differently.
Yeah, so again, can we answer the question? I mean, Adam's not asking it this time, but I'm asking it. Who were those guys? And, Adam, you can...
Adam's already back at his little bedroll, just sat facing away from you guys, kind of rocking back and forth slowly.
I'll just
I
send Carl over to that.
He's just gonna
Valerian
pet
waves,
Carl.
like Valerian kind of gestures to Marcus to help him toss the last new dead body, and he says, "I will explain all. You deserve that much at this point. One moment, maybe we can have a short rest before we hit the road."
Well, you need that guy's fingers.
Yeah.
And, to figure out if he had anything on him.
All in due time.
Marcus is going to stack the bodies into a loose pile, put a bunch of tinder around them, and give them like a bit of a Viking funeral.
Search first. We're searching the last guy. I wanted to help you because I imagine your investigation is better.
Yeah, okay.
Do a quick look over the last guy.
Sure.
I'll go off the investigation from earlier if that's okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So it seems like the main one that you had talked to seemed to carry the majority of the important information. This one, besides the platinum claws that have now been bent almost all the way around, again, just kind of carried his own personal survival things like food and water skins and that kind of thing. There isn't anything of value or note on him. So.
And once he's completely immolated, what happens to the claws?
After the fire burns and everything, I imagine they would come off. Easier than they would currently.
You see?
Well, yeah, but now they're really hot, and I can't just pick them up, I could have just sliced them off, picked them up, easy mode.
Well, as the Tortles are roasting, Valerian, are you going to address the party?
Yeah. So he takes a load off and just sort of assesses himself with disgust, like, my house is in debt. And Count Salamon of Rufort back in Folk is the biggest creditor. And it's not an accident. He's been buying up the Athelvane debt slowly and surely. Before I ever even crossed paths with you, Marcus and I were headed to Lylanor to make a deal. We had already been attacked once before we ever got there on the road. It seems this was connected to that. The Count of Rufort has an interest in at the very least my journey being a failure. These three said they wanted to take me alive. I suppose to extract the last remaining properties from my family as a ransom. It's all quite dishonorable, distasteful. I had hoped for better from Salomon.
Wait, so you owe this guy a lot of money?
Yes.
Like, how much is a lot of money?
More than you've ever seen in
can
one place,
count.
I'm willing to guess. I'm sorry, Marcus.
Well, what the heck just happened?
Yeah, just curious. Should
Yeah.
we expect more of these attacks?
I
'Cause
think so.
Those guys looked pretty damn tough.
Based on what Chatterbox was able to tell us, they were looking for me here in Roish-Mizev. It's not a secret that I was coming to Lylanor. They don't know that I went to Kraylin. They don't know that I saw Duke Braun, or at least these three didn't. They were looking for me at my last known location.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts are we on the map?
You guys are 2 days out of Karoon Vale. You've just kind of passed, or you're kind of in between these two towns right here. You see where I'm pinging? You're right now camped in the woodlands between the two.
Yeah, what's the town's name?
South and north. No.
Cannon.
But the south is farther north, and north is...
Yeah, there you go.
It's like Iceland and Greenland.
Yeah.
Would I have been familiar with this area since it's relatively close to Bronchard?
Yeah, you would know kind of like town names and general areas and things.
Well, I guess we're not too far from our destination. Hopefully we can avoid another attack. I think we're going to have to be careful on the way back, though.
Thank you all, and I apologize for the Golden Hearts getting mixed up in this. I don't blame Braun, but I believed him when he said that our tracks would be covered after leaving Kraylin. I was wrong.
It's just the nature of the road. We all expect some measure of difficulty out here.
And also,
At least you're important enough that you have bounty hunters after you. That's something.
I mean, it's not too far from Lylanor, so it's not like they were, down in Uklin or even at Corel. So they didn't know exactly where you were. I mean, they're on the same road, so they may have just happened upon you.
Were they carrying anything else of interest?
Oh, well, there was the note.
No, I'm asking. In character.
Oh.
Marcus would just delicately unfurl the note and present it to his lord.
I missed. If you described what it said, I missed it.
No, he's not. So you're gonna read it.
Yeah.
All right. So it's very flowery wording, but I'll just kind of give you the gist of it. Simply, it is a what's the word I'm looking for? Sealed and kind of legal binding contract to retrieve you and bring you back. Various different things of unharmed. Certain time period, certain amount being paid. It was going to be 250 gold upon bringing you back. But that kind of various stuff, and then just stating who he's hired and for how long, and terms of the agreement, that kind of thing.
Okay. I'll pocket that, and then just tell the group this is the price on my hide. Confirms what I've just told you.
How much was it?
250.
That seems kind of low, actually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so proud of that. I would add a 0 to that if you were going to tell a story.
Hey, maybe we'll get 300 next time.
My lord, I sense an opportunity for a subterfuge to throw this Count of Solomon off the tracks.
Do tell.
All we need to do is send a courier detailing that these lowly hitmen have discovered your whereabouts, but require more funds in order to enact your assassination.
Well, they said they were trying to take me alive.
It's immaterial. The Lord sends more of his money to a courier that will deliver it to us, and he believes that we are in a part of Kraylin that is quite distant from our real location.
Yes, I believe that might actually work, but we should, I think, make the phrasing we've captured the Lord and killed the rest of his party, and the terms of the deal have changed. We now require something, say 500, and send it to, put it so that it's sent somewhere else, and that now they'll be waiting, and it'll take some time.
Yes, that is a good touch, but we mustn't be too greedy, lest the shrewd Lord Rufard be suspicious.
Did you relay the was there a down payment or anything, or was it just they get that set money whenever they return him?
They would just get that money when he was returned.
Okay. So I guess it doesn't really matter about the price now because we're not bounty hunters.
No, but bounty hunters need funds to operate. And if we were to convince this lord that such a complication were to occur, then we could drain his coffers while advancing our own.
Perhaps they apprehended me, but it proved more costly in terms of casualties than they estimated. In order to transport me safely, they need to hire a carriage, hire guard.
Or perhaps they need the mobilization of the house's forces to a quite distant locale in order to escort you.
Are we going to start the war?
Just a battle.
Oh, okay.
Depends on what they do when they get there. I like it. When we get to a town big enough to have a messenger service, we'll do it.
Well, I think the south up ahead has a good messaging system. It's a little backwards, but they can probably send a message.
I'm not proficient in forging the hand of these Tortle folk, but I shall do my best.
If you need some trickery, I'm certain I could assist with that.
Oh, I'm certain you can.
Okay.
Well, Thor, you should probably send a message to Ron.
Yeah, JD, I'm getting to that. Okay, we're hashing things out. One step at a time. Why are you always trying to get 37 steps ahead?
Because I want him to give us more money.
What? Why can't we just do things to be good, not for money?
No, this is for good. This is for the good of.
You can do so much
Corral.
more good with lots of money.
I feel like a lot of people do a lot of bad things when they have a lot of money. But they
Then
also
what we
do
need
bad
are good
things
people with money to counteract them.
Yes, the only thing that can stop a bad person with money is a good person with money.
No, I honestly had never thought about that. But what were the bad people?
No, we're not. We're not bad people.
Would a bad person torch the corpses of his foes in order to loot some precious metal from their body?
It seems a little mean, but
At this
It's your
point, this
idea.
is the only moment that you see Adam's head turn ever so slightly before he turns back to facing away from you.
But anyways, yes.
That's just practical.
I was going to send a message because it is the moment.
I'm not sure that you should mention this attack we've just experienced. As much as I trust Duke Ron, I'm not sure that I trust Duke Ron.
I tend to disagree. He's supposed to be covering for us. And he's failing.
Am I wrong, or did that sentence just not make sense?
He is. And as much as I would like to believe that these ruffians just happen to be so inept as to find us this far north, it strikes me as suspiciously uncanny.
Are you suggesting that Braun betrayed us? I don't know why that would be.
I'm merely suggesting that we cannot rule that out. Perhaps it's not himself. Perhaps it's one of those scheming bureaucrats that enact his will.
Porter, it's got to be, right?
Well, that crown we found can let us relive memories. Any one of us could go and relive our talk with Duke Braun and maybe look through some of the papers on his desk or see what he was engaged with. That could maybe answer some questions.
I would sooner relive that fight than reimagine that filthy hovel that a lord somehow nested himself in.
I mean, that's pretty fancy to me.
I mean, it's
How
a
big are
castle.
your castles?
There were bugs crawling on the plates.
Hey man, dude's been stressed, he's stress eating, he doesn't have time to clean his plates, bugs show up. Circle of life. Maybe he eats the bugs.
I suppose you're right.
But I think I should tell him about at least the encounter. Do you want me to mention anything about these people? Like who they're with, what they're about?
Marcus just looks towards Valerian.
By now, I would assume that you have a better sense of Braun than I. My inclination is to tell him exactly what has taken place.
Me too. I mean, he's never done anything bad for me. He gave me the little thing that is now inside of our little
Carl.
man here. Carl, yes. I'm really bad with names. I'll get it eventually. I mean, he hasn't done anything bad to us, right, JD?
I mean, we're in forced servitude, but
Yes,
did.
that's
I still debate, did he do that or did we do that to ourselves?
I mean, he could have just said thank you, Thor. I mean, we took care of a problem. That was. But either way, I definitely think we should mention this, Lord Valerian. And as you said, he specifically stated he would keep us safe from discovery or being tailed. And a few extra 100 gold wouldn't hurt as a recompensance. I think could definitely help out your house, stave off a little bit of debt.
I've shared this information with you, you understand, out of a sense of camaraderie in arms since you came under this attack because of my presence. Don't feel it necessary to discuss it everywhere we go after today.
No, secret.
Your business is your business, man.
Thank you.
I'm trying to kill a guy with two hands for weapons, so we all have our stuff. Anyways, and I'll pick up Carl.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I have to think
So,
about
quick point of order, Valerian. The debt that you have, just in case you were curious, is in the multiple thousands of gold. So it's no trivial amount of wealth.
chump change.
Out of character, is that higher than Thor can count?
Yes.
Always. Anything above like 10, maybe 5.
Alright, so Thor, what is the message?
Damn, I haven't thought of this. Hello again. We just got ambushed by. What were their names? I don't remember what they were called.
Tortles?
Turtles.
Or the shelled marauders?
Tortles.
Turtles from shelled marauders looking for Valerian.
Ask for more gold.
That's
no.
the rest of the message.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So that's your message?
That's good enough. Shut the fuck up, JD. It's probably this. Do I get to do I feel it sending?
Yes, you do feel it pass through the stone and send off. Do you want to wait for a response?
Yes, but while I'm waiting, I'd like to yell at JD. JD, you cannot talk to me while I'm doing this. I can't. It uses the words, okay? And you don't want me to burst a little bubble, do you?
Well, no, but that was. Well, we need more gold for the town. That's.
JD. We need to stop demanding things from this guy. He's gonna eventually just say no.
But all he does is demand stuff from us. Look at Valerian. He's a lord. Braun demanded things of him. He just demands. He's demanding.
He is in desperation. Is he not?
I mean, we're gonna save his kid. I think 400 or 500 more gold doesn't hurt.
Gosh. No, you can't. You don't. Do you know how distressful that is? Okay. And you're just gonna say, hey, for 400 or 500 more gold, I could save your kid a little better. What does that do for you, JD? Probably makes him want to kill you more.
No, it makes me more rich, but...
No. I feel like that would be an insult to him. And he would feel insulted.
I mean, this guy burns people alive whenever they're inconvenient, so...
So try not to be inconvenient. We don't need the money so bad right now.
That is very true. I appreciate that, Rolly. JD, why don't you listen to your friends and your belly button? What does your belly button tell you? Does it tell you that money is the thing you should be after in life?
I'm just gonna draw a little cloth over my stomach, and that's not the point. Fine. Okay.
So after this conversation, Thor, you see the stone in Carl's head glow a kind of brighter red, which you now know is the receiving of another message. So once you focus on it, you will hear that message.
Oh, guys, I got the message. Okay. And I will.
Okay. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. That is not the group that we misled. No, misled's one word. Be wary of others.
Okay. I have the message, everybody. I'm not sending another message, idiot. He said that was not the group that he misled, and to be wary of others. And did he sound like? Could I tell?
You don't get like interpretations. It's just like words said very dryly to you.
Okay, gotcha. So apparently he misled somebody, but those people were dead.
Marcus, as a fighting man, I'm sure you've heard rumors of other people with prowess.
Yes.
Do you recall any other bands of assassins we would need to look out for?
So I assume Marcus is like loosely familiar with the mercenary adventure scene, DM.
Yep. But there is a rather vast amount of groups, so it's not like you know every single one by name.
Well, there's the Booley Boys and the Red Cliff Ruffians and a few dozen others. But as to whether they all have their swords pointed at us, I'm not sure.
Nathan just had to add that to his notes.
Well, sounds like the guy's willing to pay, 250 gold for you. So, wait, no, would we know that? Did you say that to us?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, hopefully some of the higher end groups won't be involved.
He was willing to pay them 250 gold. He's hired others.
Ugh.
Yes, I have to imagine this is the case.
Well, I mean, it seems like he said that the Lord Duke Braun said that was exactly the case, because that was not the group that he misled. So there's more than one person after you, which means that you're worth more than 250 gold.
I know that.
Hey, that's the spirit.
Okay, well, then I guess, I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to get the hell out of this area.
Yes, to south.
So are you guys packing up and departing?
Yeah. How's Adam looking through all of this?
Adam has seemed to recover a little bit, taking the time that you guys were talking to try and center himself. He's still more timid than he was. The past few days that you guys have been traveling with him, he'd been rather, talkative and, telling stories, kind of just asking you guys general questions about your life, not your purpose. But now he seems very, very quiet, much more quiet than he was, and just tries to be as quiet as possible.
About how long do I think it'll take to get to town?
To Southstone?
Yeah.
You're maybe like half a day away.
Half a day? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Valerian might push for a short rest for real before we actually get back on the road.
Okay.
And how many platinum claws did we pry out of the corpse of our foes?
It would be 8.
And are we able to appraise like approximately how much they'd be worth?
I have identify. Would that help?
They're not magical.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcus. You want to give me an intelligence check as you're kind of looking them over? Not particularly. I mean, as far as you're aware, they're platinum claws and they're worth their weight in platinum.
Okie doke. Well, I would hand a pair of them over to our little friend.
Adam?
Yes.
Okay. So as he's like standing up, kind of realizing that everyone's like packing and getting ready, he turns around and sees you, plants them gently in his hand. He just looks down at them, looks up at you a little scared, looks back down at them. All right.
I wink like a grandpa giving a child some candy.
Slowly closes his hands around them, kind of looks around at the other party members, like curious if this is allowed. All right then, and tucks it in his little pouch next to him.
I'd like to kneel down, put my hand on his shoulder, just look him square in the eyes, and it's not bad.
Not yet.
Just how you doing, Adam?
Oh, I'm a little concerned.
Well,
I don't know what that was.
Sorry. That's not great because you're not supposed to hear things or ask questions.
I haven't listened to a word.
You should just be happy to drive the cart.
I am more than pleased to tend to the horses and keep us moving forward. As far as I'm aware, we had a little bit of turtle soup this morning, and it was delicious.
Turtle soup in the woods? No, Adam. No turtle soup, and I'll give him a little squeeze.
Oh, I think it was rabbit. Oh, I saw Master Rolly setting up traps. I think we had rabbit stew in the woods. It was delicious.
Oh, that sounds so good, Adam. That's right. You're a good kid, Adam.
I'm terrified of you, sir.
No, Adam. We're good people. And that's all you know. Just kind of stand back up, pat him on his hat if he has one, and walk off. Is Rolly's horse dead? He got hit with acid.
Yeah, his horse is dead.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So, you named it Sweetberry, correct, Rolly?
Yeah, I had kind of gotten attached to that thing.
Well, get unattached. Sweetberry has suffered a demise that most would not see as savory.
I would say you could ride with me, but I'm pretty sure we would break my horse. I would say you would ride with JD, but I'm pretty sure he's already breaking his horse. And,
Yeah, I'll. How about I hop on there with you, Marcus? We could probably. It would be more convenient. We could smoke that way.
Marshmallow has enough room for us both, friend.
I mean, or the cart if you get, fed up with Marcus.
I'm really enjoying this image of them like circle smoking on the on the back of the horse now.
Rolly's just like puffing the pipe for him.
Sorry, not circle smoking. It's a pipe reach around.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even touch that one.
No, you won't be doing all the touching. In that
Yeah, it
case.
was your idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, you guys are going to short rest and then depart to Southstone? Okay. Is there
anybody that would like some healing after a hit die, or are we?
I'm good, bro.
I think Adam might need some therapy.
Yeah, I'm having Carl just kind of pet his face.
You guys are so good at treating people properly.
Carl has been nothing but nice. Did you get a hit?
No, I just rolled a hit die to heal.
Yourself?
Yeah, on a short rest, right?
Yeah, no, I was just asking if you got hit.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
At the very beginning.
Yeah, when he was prone.
Gotcha.
Yes, Jared.
Yeah, how are you three looking?
I think after a short rest, I should be quite chipper. Let me see. How are you guys doing the short rest roll? I can't see where that is on the Beyond 20.
If you click on short rest.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
During the short rest, I would use my feature of Song of Rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd play a little bit of music, and you can also add an extra 1d6 to all of your, you can add 1d6 to...
Is it every roll or just one roll?
Just once. Yeah, just once.
All right, then all of the resources Marcus spent on that fight are now fully replenished.
Terrifying.
Valerian, how are you looking?
Valerian's scuffed up, but he's pretty
Okay.
looking pretty good again. Not 100%, but
I'll throw a Cure Wounds.
You sure? I mean, I'd probably hit.
Oh Jesus, that's it.
I don't. You, feel free not to. You don't. I've got some lay on hands and stuff as well, but I'm pretty close to top. So.
No, I already rolled it. It's 4 extra.
Fantastic healer.
God.
I look at Jarek's half-assed job. You really should leave that to the professionals, Jarek.
I tried.
You did, and that's what counts. I pat him on his belly.
After all of that, I'll top myself off with. I'll touch myself, will myself the rest of the way, and I'm back at full.
I don't want anybody else.
I was.
Lord Valerian will touch himself.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we got gold. We got
And that can't go in the recording because it'll get struck.
DMCA.
So we got 50 gold in total.
Yeah, Marcus, you left. It was 40 gold, 6 silver, 1 copper.
6 silver.
7 copper. Or
7.
wait, hold on. Let me. 5 copper. 5 copper.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess you would have handed that to me because I was the one helping you investigate. Okay. So I'll distribute the 10 gold evenly.
Yep.
Is that all right? Unless anybody has any problems with that. And then the silver was how much silver? It was 9? Or
It was 6 silver remaining after
Okay.
my cut.
so then I'll give each of you 2. And then
You
I'll
can just keep the copper in exchange.
I'll keep the 5 copper, right?
And then I have 6 platinum claws after giving some to Adam. I would distribute them evenly, but give 2 to my lord.
Okay. Okay. Anything?
These are a nice souvenir, but why don't just one of us hold on to them till we sell them? Otherwise, we'll all have to sell them individually.
Very well. I just sort of like shove the entire pile into Adam's hands.
And then I would look at him and tell him, That way, when we sell it, it will make it easier to divide it equally.
Adam looks down, seemingly staring at more wealth than he could ever imagine in his entire life, slowly cupping his hands together, looking over at Carl. Carl just...
Yep.
And then he slides them into his pouch very quietly.
Adam is like our Lydia. Just carries everything for us.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
I'm gonna stare Adam down
Oh my
in
god.
that exchange.
Adam's just
And
gonna,
just
like...
nod.
Do I see JD staring him down?
I imagine so.
I'm just gonna decapitate Adam until he kneels down and then gets back up with full health. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna just slap JD in the back of the head. GT,
Thor,
stop. Just whatever you're doing, stop.
Thor,
Nope.
No.
Stop.
no. So, you can't trust his people, Thor.
JD. The man is terrified if we just gave him more money than he knows what to do with. He's also trapped in the middle of the woods with us. And Carl is watching him. And you can look over and see Carl too. I've got it covered. You don't have to stare him down.
Okay. I remember Porter. I think
You
we all
needn't
remember.
worry. Adam is our fast friend, isn't that right, Adam?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You see.
Don't make me slap you again, JD.
No. Okay, fine.
We just talked about this. Individual, not race.
Well, individually, he can betray us. So I think that one.
Who has betrayed us? Think you know?
Well, in my lifetime, I mean, at first there was Chad, my
Okay.
wife, and then there was. I thought this nice wolf was gonna be my friend. It bit me. No.
I'm surprised you survived the wolf encounter, to be honest.
It bit me in the ass. So a lot of extra.
Doesn't help your case there, but
I wonder if Adam has slept with your wife.
I will have you know, she is a raging whore. So probably wouldn't put it past her.
Nope.
May she
Nope.
burn.
Nope. I haven't. Nope. Not at all. I think. She's a whore, but I haven't slept with her. No.
It's
Wait,
fucking
I mean,
right,
you don't even know what she looks like or who she is. Are you sure?
it's a little judgmental, Adam.
But whatever Jarek believes, I wholeheartedly support.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
It's good. Hey, wait, you're a gnome. Do you know things about plants?
What do you mean?
Hey, don't y'all live in the woods and stuff?
No.
That's elves.
Oh,
My father was
Gnomes
a
do the-
travel agent in Kraylin.
thank you, Adam.
I should have stayed home. No
It's
one
okay,
goes
Adam.
home for the gnome.
Oh god. JD, you've broken him.
He'll be fine. The young bounce back. It's how it goes. Look at Valerian. He went down. Then he got back up.
Yeah, he didn't seem too happy about it, though, to be honest.
They're never going to keep me down.
Would you like would you like this? And I think I have a healing potion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have never used this, ever. And I don't have a use for it. I would give it to JD, but he'll probably just die anyways. And you seem
Right.
stronger than him. So,
Frankly, I think that Marcus should carry it.
I will take that as a compliment about my prudent stewardship of logistics.
Of course.
Yeah, whatever you just said. Is it like a normal healing potion?
I can't remember. It's the one you picked up at the sea cave, right?
Yeah.
Those might have been greater, but I can't remember. You picked up one that was muddy, right?
Oh, jeez.
Is that the one you're referring to? The one that had like a clouded exterior?
Yes.
If that's the case, that is a greater healing potion.
Okay.
And the rest are because there was multiple regular. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know I picked up one outside of the group, and then the group found some, right? Yeah. So, whichever one I picked up, I already had. So you can have that one.
I only mean that you will apply it when it will make the most difference.
All right, I added a potion of healing (parentheses greater) to my character sheet.
Cool.
I never added it. So.
Well, before we head out, I'll pull out the Leicester 32 Duke Bronze illegally obtained wine. Go and pull the cork out on it and hold it towards Valerian and Marcus. And well, gentlemen, I think this calls for a toast.
Jarek, you realize it's barely 9 in the morning.
Calls for a small toast.
I love how Rolly is the one.
Yeah, I was like the irony.
I won't look a gift wine in the cork, and Valerian will take a glug.
I suppose we did attain a modicum of victory.
Ale before noon, wine thereafter, or whiskey.
Really, you don't have to partake.
No, I'm partaking. I'm just saying it's wrong. You're toasting with the wrong liquid.
All right.
Is it good? Is it decent?
Yeah, no, Leicester 32 is a very good vintage. It is very well sought after.
I'm not gonna drink it.
No, okay.
I shan't comment on how you acquire such spirits, but I praise your taste in the ones you do.
Well, I ran a tavern. I grew pretty accustomed to sampling different things when I had the money. So, I may be rotund, but I do retain some taste. In alcohol, anyways. I'll even offer some to Adam.
He will politely refuse.
Okay.
I'll take Adam and Thor's share. Say refuse.
Thor will just contemplate it for all he is really learning his lesson through all this.
Carl is just on your shoulder shaking his head.
Yeah, I know, Carl, I know.
Okay, well. Shall we be off?
So you guys are heading up to Southstone. Okay. Is there anything you guys want to do between here and Karoon Vale? Again, it will be like about 2 days before you reach Karoon Vale.
I would just have it as a note that Carl is at night. I don't know if he can communicate with me while I'm sleeping, or how does that work?
Potentially, he can speak to you.
So I would have him watch Adam just to make sure he's not doing anything weird.
Okay.
And then status update in the morning.
Okay.
If that town really does have somewhere we can send a message, then we may as well send our false flag.
Southstone or Karoon Vale?
Southstone.
Probably not big enough to have a messaging service easily accessible.
Okay.
Would they have a means of purchasing a healing kit?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to find poisonous plants
Oh my god.
Give me intelligence and investigation.
You realize how bad this sounds?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Hey, wow, look at that shit.
Yeah, I was so ready to use my lucky die, which doesn't really work, but I am going to use a lucky die.
Okay.
That was investigation. Swear to God. If it's
Hey,
worse.
nice.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow, I think that's the first time Lucky really came through for you.
Yeah,
It
right, that
is
was a
the
swing.
first time.
Congratulations.
Some golf claps to you.
So you are, kind of just starting your journey in alchemy and plant knowledge and herbalism, all that kind of stuff. But just kind of going off of general knowledge, vibrant, bright things, generally steer clear of, where to search for them. Again, you're not really familiar with the geographical area that you're in, but just out of sheer determination, you are not going to let this go until you figure out your way. So over the next day or so, you're able to find herbs that are used in medicine to help knock people out, to help cure certain ailments but are poisonous in certain volumes. Again, you don't quite know how to process these things or what to do with them, but you find them and acquire them. So for all intents and purposes, you have like a small bundle of medical herbs.
Okay. And then at some point I want to try and turn those into poison. But
Okay, well, that'll be a little bit further, but yeah.
Oh, I did come up with something. It's going to take days to get to Curran Vale.
2 days, yes.
2 days. So, as we're stopping our travel on the next day, I want to try this horse whistle and see what it does.
Okay. So when are you doing this precisely?
As we're stopping travel on the first day out of Southstone.
Okay.
So before we make camp to rest.
Are you doing it while mounted on Belgrease, beside him? What location?
On the road, on my horse.
Okay. When you bring it to your lips and you push air through it, expecting some sort of noise, you don't hear anything come out the other side, but you see Belgrease's ears perk up, and you see him kind of crane his neck around so that his eye can connect with yours, and that's about all the effect that you can see. Like, you wait several minutes, you don't see anything else really occur.
The other horses in our party, do they react similarly?
Nope.
Great. All right. Well, fun.
In the same vein, I would take my I'm sorry, were you done, Valerian?
I think so. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to do that might not result in my horse throwing me. So.
So well, when I had some time, I'd take the magic stick, and did it have what's the command mechanism on it?
Basically, you hold it out in front of you, clasping your hand around it, and you just focus on extending it, and then it follows through.
All right, so I'm gonna take the stick in my hands, and I'm gonna focus on it getting bigger.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I do that, and I point it straight at the ground. When it hits the ground, does it stop, or does it? How much force does it come out with?
Yes, you see the link. So it's foot-long linkages that come out and then grow to the same shape and then kind of magically combine back to the original position. So once that linkage that would push into the dirt comes out, it halfway comes out and gets stuck against the dirt and then doesn't move and ceases to extend.
And then if I move it away from the dirt, it keeps going?
Yeah, it will resume connecting.
Okay, so I was just trying to see if I could spring it out and hit something with it, or if it would have any force, but doesn't seem like it.
At some point, I would recommend putting it between two trees and seeing how sturdy it is.
Yeah, okay, and I try that. Does it hold my weight? Doing some pull-ups.
Yeah, so it's pushed up against two objects, and then you're kind of putting your weight on it.
Yeah.
It can hold you.
And I'm not gonna like put my full weight on it, but like while he's doing stuff, can I kind of pull on it and see?
How much do you weigh?
I'll find out. Hold on. I said like 300 pounds. Does that sound right? Sound too?
Yeah, it's surprisingly, kind of pulling it and then lifting yourself on the tip of your toes. It can hold you.
Okay, now the real test, and then I'll have KD come over.
Jarek, you're like 300 or 250 or something, right? What are you?
380.
300. Wait, what?
Wait, aren't you 380? I thought I saw on your character sheet. I must be wrong.
No, that sounds.
No, he said 340.
Time to double check. You have been working out.
That's true.
Have you?
335. That's right. I have been working out.
Okay. It can hold your weight as well.
Holy cow! So this, like, all of us together, correct?
Oh,
Wow,
no,
so
no,
we're-
separately.
Okay, that's what.
We're at pretty close to 1,000 pounds. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if like Rolly's on it. And
And
put
you
weight
are
on.
pulling on it as well?
Yes, I wanted to see like.
Rolly, how much do you weigh? Ballpark.
I'm just trying to get a rough guesstimate for how much this
Yeah.
can take.
I'm trying to figure out how much you and Rolly weigh together. I think Rolly's lagging out.
Laden or unladen?
About 500.
About 500?
What?
I can you hear me?
You were lagging out. I think you're back now.
Yeah.
Did you
No,
500?
No, I said I weigh about 175, so it's about 500 total.
Okay. So when Rolly's hanging off it and Thor, you go to like pull on it, you see it bending and then slipping, like the grip that it has on the trees.
Okay, but like I'm not putting my full weight
No,
on it.
you're not.
right?
No.
Okay, but it can hold me,
Yes, it can hold you singularly.
so it's probably like a little over 300, maybe 400, somewhere around there.
That's
Okay,
good to know.
that's all I wanted to really test, just to
Okay.
see its tensile strength. And then at some point, I'd like to do something with Buffy. That doesn't have to be like here. I don't want to take up
Okay,
everybody's time.
That's fine. Yeah, we can certainly do that out of session.
Yeah.
Anything else by anybody? Okay. Well, we'll probably just pick up as you guys are entering Karun Vale next session. So if there is nothing further you guys need to do or any other notes or questions or anything, I guess we can bring it to a close.